Welcome to HomeFront Sitrep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront Sitrep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting. Welcome, everybody, to a Sunday edition of HomeFront Sitrep. How is everybody? Miss Candace, how was your weekend?
Oh, yeah. Hot. It was hot.
Dude, it's so hot in Kentucky right now, man. Tell you what.
Yeah, my brain's not functioning. I'm on it's day 3. It's tail end of a flare up, but I was outdoor dashing. Yesterday I was soaking wet, but I've also been crazy busy with work. So.
Yeah, it's man, I'll tell you what, it's so hot right now in Kentucky, it ain't even funny. But no, my weekend's been good. Hey
Willis, how was your weekend?
My weekend was all right, man. I went to church this morning with the wife and kids. All the ducks were in a row. Had a great day at church, and then we dropped my oldest daughter went out with her boyfriend to Cracker Barrel. They had breakfast after church. We dropped my youngest off at work at 12, and the wife and I went to Metro Diner in Louisville over Outer Loop, and it was phenomenal. So super excited. We just had a chill day, and then she's out at the pool right now with her friend Brandy and JR. So she's out hanging out with them, and I'm at home doing a podcast, which is where I want to be. She asked me if I wanted to go with her. I was like, no, I'm good. It's too hot outside. So.
I know. I was talking about that when I came in. I was like, I don't see anybody anymore. Your wife's not here. I haven't seen the girls. I had to go kiss their faces because I've had to look at your face every time I've come over here lately.
My ugly face. I got to.
Just your face is the only one I've seen. I want to see prettier faces.
Well, Miss Rose, thank you for coming. Welcome to the show. So Miss Rose says, my name is Rose and I am here for the first time. Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah, enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show. So if you're here for the first time, let me give you a rundown of what HomeFront Sitrep is all about. What we do at HomeFront Sitrep is we highlight veteran service organizations from around the country. And I'm talking the mom and pops, the grassroots ones that are actually focusing on veterans and taking care of veterans one veteran at a time.
Doing the right thing.
With that being said, we also bring in veteran authors, veteran singers, other veteran podcasters. So tonight's guest is a veteran podcaster. He's a Marine Corps veteran. He hosts a podcast called Every Day's a Saturday-USMC Veteran. His name's Bryan Roof. We're going to bring him on in a little bit. But first off, I want to bring in my buddy Theory, a.k.a. Ryan Dorfield, who is a Marine Corps veteran. He's a rapper. He's just dropped, he signed, we had him on not too long ago, and he recently signed with Big Homies Records, and he just released a new song, and we're going to bring him on to talk about this song. Then we're going to play it for you. And then we'll bring Bryan on right after that, and we're going to have a good conversation with Bryan as well. So with that being said, let's bring Theory up to the stage.
That was so professional, Willis.
I know, right? What's up?
Great.
What's up, Theory?
I'm
How are
proud
you,
of
brother?
buddy. That was quite the introduction. Thank you.
I try, man. I try.
But yet again, like I said pre-show, I am stuck around Marines again.
You are stuck around Marines today.
There are worse things to be stuck around.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't really like the taste of Crayola.
But it's never a dull moment, though.
Definitely.
Very true. But some worse than others when it comes to Marines.
We always keep you on your toes.
So Ryan, how was your weekend? How's your week been?
The weekend's been good. It's the whole week really has been pretty relaxing. Just doing, my schoolwork with Full Sail University. For anyone who hadn't heard before and who may be watching, I am a full-time student, online classes at Full Sail University. I'm studying audio engineering and music production. So
Nice.
just been doing my schoolwork and spending time with the family. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your party you just had, this Renaissance Fair party.
Yeah. So my wife is big into the Renaissance era, medieval times kind of looking thing too. But it was her idea to have the party, and she wanted to just invite some close friends over, and come up with little games and things like that. So we had some close friends over. It's probably about 14, 15 people that we had at the house. Our neighbors came, and we just had a really good time. We played some games. Mostly everybody dressed up. I was Robin Hood, man in tights.
Nice.
I confiscated and tactfully acquired one of my wife's pairs of leggings and used those.
I gotta see some pictures, man. I'm gonna have to scour Facebook.
That's not as good as finding a picture of you in chaps.
I thought it was funny. I had a white button up, and my neighbor's wife, her name's Shelby. She's a super cool girl. But she let me use this like little hat, I guess.
Nice.
And I had a feather in the hat, and it was a cool little thing. But I didn't want to go out and spend money on a costume for, a house party. So I was like, I'm just gonna, figure out what we got here at home.
Nice.
But it was a lot of fun, man. We did I barbecued a little bit. My neighbor Matt, he barbecued, helped me out making some of the food. So we had good food, good friends. We played a few Renaissance-y kind of games where we bought foam swords.
Nice.
From Five Below, and we had sword fights, and the loser of the sword fight got beheaded on the little I forget what the heck she called it, but it's like those things that you put your hands in your head.
Oh yeah,
like the pillory. The
pillory, yeah.
It started with
No, you're thinking guillotine. That's that's different.
It's I mean, it's kind of the same thing, but it doesn't have a blade where the head goes. Like, so they actually had taken cardboard and cut out like spots for your wrists and for your head, and we had this like this rolly kind of, I guess, pole that stayed on two little other poles. I don't really know how to explain it, but you could raise it and adjust the height. So they use that to their advantage, and they put the cardboard there, so you could just lift up the two cardboards, put your head and wrists in there, and close it.
Nice.
Matt next door made a big homemade axe out of cardboard, and he spray painted it. He was the executioner who cut off heads, and
nice.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah, I bet. Like, there's something to adults being able to almost essentially like bring the kids out of themselves.
Yeah,
like there's something so great about that, and be able to enjoy it. And then you throw a little alcohol and some good food in there, and you're all it's a great time.
Yeah, everybody was having a lot of fun. If there's anybody that is still very in touch with our kid side, it is me and my wife. We're always having parties. We're always inviting friends over and thinking about cool stuff for us to do. We have a bunch of inflatable swimming pools that we'll have a bring your own pool party.
Nice.
And you can come and bring your own little, like, you can go to Walmart and buy like a $20-$30 inflatable pool, bring it, and I'll barbecue, and we'll sit in the pools, figure out little games to play. We're always looking at stuff like that to do.
So Ryan, we need you to remember us next time you do this.
Well, I got invited, but unfortunately the wife had other plans.
He never tells me.
I will tell you. I will tell you next time. I know
you didn't get invited.
Well, if you invite him and you want me to come, you're gonna have to tell me separately, because he ain't gonna tell me.
I will keep that in mind. I promise. I know the next party that she wants to have is she wants to do a 90s party.
Nice.
Yeah. So if that doesn't make if it doesn't make you feel old, I don't know what does.
I mean, I was in high school.
I wasn't in high school yet, but I went to high school in 2002.
God, you're making me feel old, bro.
So
I graduated in 03.
I graduated in 06.
I graduated in 97. Went to
high school?
Yeah, high school in 97. Yes. So tell us about your new song that was just released on Friday, man. Tell us a little bit about it. We're going to play it when you're done talking about it.
Yeah. So the single is one of a few more that I have left to release throughout the rest of the year. I'm not putting a full album out for the remainder of the year just because I dropped that Carpe Diem album in April. But the song is called Falling from Grace. I produced. I was just bored one day sitting in my studio, and I was just digging through some samples, and I came across this one that I really liked, and I was like, all right, well, let's kind of put some drums to it, see how it turns out. And I ended up making the whole beat, and I was gonna sell it, and I was like, you know what, let me write a hook for it, let me write a chorus for it. So I wrote it and I recorded it, and then I was gonna sell the beat with the chorus on it, with my vocals on it, because some people do that,
right?
And most of the people that buy the beats from me are friends of mine, so if they want to have me sing a hook for them, maybe they can write the verses. So I was going to sell it that way, and then I was like, let me see how it would sound with a verse on it. And I did that for both verses, and I just ended up sitting here for like 4 hours, and just from the process of me starting to make the beat to writing the hook, recording it, and then writing the verse, recording it, writing the second verse, recording it, and just kind of little by little putting what I had down on the mic, and it turned into this really awesome song. I was just in a vibe, and the song basically kind of talks about the difficulties of the music industry and the stress that it can give artists, where you constantly feel like you're having to go with the public eye to please and to appease these people so they'll listen to your music, and sometimes it might make you feel like you're straying away from who you are to try and be this person that you want them to be, or that people want you to be. And it kind of makes you feel like you're falling from grace, so to speak, and constantly feeling like you're letting people down, and people are telling you you're not doing good enough, or you're not posting enough content, or your content's not as exciting, or you only have this many followers. That's really sad. You're 35 years old, you should hang up the mic and get a job, and yada yada yada. Things that I heard, starting when I was 30, hence the number 30 in my name. It was something that really kind of messed me up mentally, when I first started, because I had it in my head, like, I think I'm good. My friends are telling me that I'm good. So the public's going to say I'm good. And then, people just always find a way to break you down. And, I started hearing those things, you're too old, and you're white, you're never going to make it. And for a little while, it kind of messed me up, man.
As a podcaster, I feel that, because sometimes, like you said, if you don't post enough content, if you don't do enough content that's worthy of some people's ideals of what you should be doing, they want you to change. Like, we focus on veteran service organizations primarily. And I will throw in veteran singers, veteran authors, veteran business owners, as well, as I'm going through the process. But people are like, well, you just need to focus on everything, other than veteran service organizations. And I'm like, no, I'm going to stick true to what I do. And that's the veteran service organizations out there. And so this song really resonated when I heard it. I was like, man, that fits into what we do as podcasters. If we don't post enough content, if we don't have enough followers, like if you try to get like sponsors to sponsor your podcast, they're like, well, how many followers you got? I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm, because I got people coming in and so I feel it, man. So let's go ahead and play it and see what our friends.
I know I have questions, but I'm waiting until after the song.
So let's play it. Are you ready?
Yeah, whenever you are.
But I don't really even know what I've been trying to prove. It feels like I've been falling from grace.
Yeah. Can't seem to escape this fate. Try pleasing the masses just to be told that my music ain't even great. It's way below average, people so cold, and how many followers you get defining success. It's crazy to think how I do what I love for a living, but somehow I still don't feel blessed. Ain't get enough views on that clip that I posted a week ago. Goddamn, must mean that I suck. Meanwhile, the video trending right now is a girl on the gram say she down to get fucked. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, I'm posting my content, crossing my fingers for luck, and hoping they playing my songs, but hundreds of streams will still only get you $1. So how in the hell do I win? Do I change who I am? Do I put out an album by selling drugs, fucking bitches, foreign cars, all the riches, gang, Glocks and switches? Maybe they'll love it and I can go viral, but is the fame worth it if I'm losing myself in the process, forcing my heart and my head in a downward spiral?
I feel like I've been losing myself for far too long. Far too long. Far too long. I don't really even know what I've been trying to do. It seems like I've been floating away. You love me, then you love me not. These feelings gon' put me in the grave, but I don't really even know what I've been trying to prove. It feels like I've been falling from grace. I won't lose myself just to prove myself to the people that don't want me to change.
But I gotta adapt, the old way don't work no more, so I gotta change up the grind before I get left behind. I'm already midway to 40 and worried I'll never be hitting my prime. You tell me to always stay true to myself, but then when I do it, I'm wasting my time. Just give me a sign. I don't wanna change, don't wanna conform, but I know I gotta do something and soon, cause then if I don't, I'm breaking the norm. And fuck social media, all of that hatred been bringing me down. I go to perform and post up a reel to show how I did, then get all these messages about how I'm corny. Nobody does that, you should just stop. Put out the song, I bet you it flops. Hang up the mic, your flow is too basic, no wonder your Spotify listeners dropped. This is the shit that I get for pursuing my passion, thinking one day I'ma pop, and maybe I might, but all that I know is I'm gonna continue to rise to the top. I ain't losing myself.
I don't really even know what I've been trying to do. It seems like I've been floating away. You love me, then you love me not. These feelings gon' put me in the grave, but I don't really even know what I've been trying to prove. It feels like I've been falling from grace. I won't lose myself just to prove myself to the people that don't want me to change. I don't really even know what I've been trying to do. It seems like I've been floating away. You love me, then you love me not. These feelings gon' put me in the grave, but I don't really even know what I've been trying to prove. It feels like I've been falling from grace. I won't lose myself just to prove myself to the people that don't want me to change.
Like, so all because you were bored one day. Like, that's what I love about that. Like, listening to that and those words because you were sitting in the house bored one day, thinking about selling the beat.
Yeah, I just literally was sitting right where I'm at right now, because I'm in my studio, and I just, you know, I'll get these creative itches every once in a while, and a lot of the times they'll kind of appear out of nowhere, and I was just like, I'm just gonna do a song, and you know, it kind of, and like I said, I was gonna just sell the beat, just to somebody. I was gonna post it up and have them sell it, but I just, I had a feeling, me too, I just, once I wrote the hook for it, the chorus, I was like, I think I can kind of elaborate on this a little bit, and I'm kind of feeling like this is something that I really feel, and excuse me, the more I started writing, the more I realized that this can be something that, you know, other artists feel as well. You know, I know personally a lot of artists who, you know, it doesn't matter what you do, but who struggle with that same kind of feeling where, you know, you work and you run yourself into the ground trying to build this facade, right? Mm-hmm. and this image of you that you want everybody to like. And, you know, naturally so, you know, and I said this last time I was on the podcast with you, and Brandon, you know, your goal as a music artist, especially, is to grow your fan base. Obviously, you should always want to do that. But how you go about doing it is where that gray area comes in. You know, a lot of these people that you see on TikTok and YouTube and on TV and, you know, radio, you end up finding out that that's not really how they live. That's not really who they are. You know, they just like to portray that image of themselves to appease the public eye. And it's like, I don't want to do that. You know, so some people will tell me that the type of rap music that I like is old school. It's not how today's generation sounds. So it's like, okay, you're telling me that if I want to be relevant in today's generation with music, then I have to conform to that sound if I want to make something of myself.
Right.
And I heard that for years, you know, whether or not people would tell me, you know, oh, well, you're talented for sure. But, you know, it's just not the sound that we're looking for. You know, I got turned down by a lot of people.
So this is my daddy. And that's what I was getting ready to say. Like, old school music was good music. And you heard the words and you feel the feelings behind it. So my daddy's telling you, don't change. We do.
Marcus Stewart, right?
My daddy.
Yeah. Thank you for that. By the way, I do see the comments. Michael Bauer, man, thank you. Also, I've become so comfortable in my own skin lately. Within the last, I would say, couple of years, I've become so comfortable in my own skin musically. And really, I guess just as a whole, to where I'm going to do what I want to do. You know, sometimes I might make a song that sounds like today's generation. You know, I want to be versatile and be able to do it all. But those roots, I'm a hip hop head. You know, so I grew up on, you know, Wu-Tang Clan. I grew up on, you know, NWA. I grew up on Shine, and I grew up on Mace and, you know, Rakim, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, and Common, you know, all those guys. I grew up listening to them. So the roots of where I learned that, and Eminem, obviously, you know, he's a huge influence on me. If you can't tell by the song, but you know, with that being said, it's like those pure bred hip hop roots are what I like to do, and I sort of branch out. But that, if you listen to my music, you'll notice that I try to keep that as a baseline for the lyricism, for the storytelling, for you know, the metaphors, similes, the double entendres, triple entendres, things that I try to incorporate into the actual craft of being an MC, because that's what I grew up listening to, and that's what I want to be. You know, I enjoy the challenge of being able to have those metaphors in and be able to enunciate it and say it in a creative way that might make people be like, ooh, like that was awesome the way you said that. And like, you know, I like that. It makes it more talent than it is just being at the right place at the right time and knowing the right people. And, you know, I want to get recognized for my talent and what I can actually bring to the table with my craft and my passion for the craft.
It's real and it's raw.
Yeah, it's real and it's raw, and that's what's got you recognized. You know, somebody reached out to you from Big Homies Records because they loved what you were doing, and we talked about it on the podcast when you were on with Brandon and I. A lot of your record labels, they want the artist to conform to what they have in, you know, what they have in mind. But your record label, Big Homies Records, that you signed with, was like, no, stay you, don't change. Which is amazing because you know, when I found your music, you know, because I met you last year, October 12th.
It was awesome.
And I seen it live, and I was like, dude, this music's awesome. And then I started following you on Spotify, and we've connected on a much personal level since then.
Of course,
And I tell you, last year he was so stupid excited. He was like, "Oh my god,
dude, I loved it because I grew up. I'm like you. I grew up in
Insta fan.
Like I like all music except for classical. I just can't get down with classical. But like I grew up in, you know, I was in high school in the 90s, so you know I listened to all the good, music from then, and your music is very, very similar to that era.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you do have some newer stuff that sounds like the newer stuff, and I love it. And I want to give a shout out to Miss Tracy. No, that's Marcus.
Yep.
Miss Tracy here, Patriots Inside the Wire. She is a Gold Star mom. So I want to give her a shout out and say welcome to the show. She's also a Heroes Media Group podcast as well. So I want to give her a shout out, and want to give out a shout out to everybody who's out there in chat. If you can do me a favor in chat, like and share. The more people we get in here, to talk about what we got going on. And I'm going to play a couple more songs here in a minute, but I also want to bring in our guest, Mr. Bryan Roof.
I have questions.
Well, we'll get to that. So Bryan Roof, he hosts a podcast every day as a Saturday-USMC Veteran. Bryan is from Lancaster, California. He was born on April 6, 1981. Joined the Marine Corps in February of 2000. He was honorably discharged in 2004. He worked in the aerospace industry at Northrop Grumman
Marine.
for almost 15 years, and then he was deemed 100% unemployable by the VA. He started podcasting in January of 2023, and he's man, I tell you what, I love watching Bryan do what he does. He's very similar to what we do on HomeFront Sitrep, but he also just brings in veterans, let veterans tell their story. So let's bring Mr. Bryan up on the stage.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, can't be any better if I, was any worse or better, then no one would care anyways.
Right. So do me a favor, introduce yourself to the world. I know I just gave you a little bit of a brief synopsis, but go ahead and give everybody a little bit of a rundown who you are, my friend.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you kind of summed it up pretty well, but I guess I'll sum it up a little better. I was born and raised here in Lancaster, California, and played football, wrestled in high school. Didn't know what, I honestly thought after high school I was going to go play football. That was kind of like my big thing. I was like, I got to keep playing football. I love football. But I ended up in the Marine Corps,
Funny how that works.
Decided to talk to the recruiter one day. I was super bored, and literally
All these things that happen when people are bored.
Yeah, literally the recruiter, the only recruiter that picked up that day was the Marine Corps, and so I was like, all right, I'll go down and talk to him, and he sold me on camping and shooting weapons and all this shit. I was like, hell yeah, sign me up,
That's how they get you.
I was in LA Maps within 2 weeks of talking to the recruiter. Didn't have much time other than watch like Full Metal Jacket to get kind of a good dose of what the hell I was getting myself into. You know what I mean?
I think every Marine watches that before they go to boot camp.
Yeah.
Well, also, my cousin had, he had did like the devil pup thing where he had early enlisted in, I think it was like his junior year or something. So when I went to go sign up, I was like, I definitely got to go Marines too, because I can't let my cousin be the one, out showing me. So, so that way, ended up, in the Marine Corps around was it February 21st, 2000, and went in there and ended up in supply, right?
Nice.
So they sent me to good old Jacksonville, North Carolina for my MOS.
That's where I was.
Yeah.
That's where I was.
Nice. Yeah, I got to go spend some time there. And if there's not a lot to do, spend a lot of time at the strip clubs.
Driftwood.
Toby's for me.
Totally got my strip club experience, when I went there. Because,
wait,
18 years old, bro, like away from mom and dad. Nothing but strip clubs. Here's some dollars.
The ultimate Marine experience and marry a stripper.
No, yeah. Well, that's the ultimate. Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
I did.
No.
Oh, he did.
Hold on.
Oh, shoot! It was beyond the wet knee, bro.
Okay, so when I met her, she was not stripping, and I did not know she was a stripper when we started dating. We got married. True story. No, she stripped before I met her. Do you guys remember the cave?
Yes.
Okay, so she stripped to the K before I was even in Jacksonville, right?
That was like the worst
Oh
place
my
ever.
gosh, bro. Yeah. The strippers were
like-
not great
That
strippers,
was
bro.
a terrible place.
listen. It got
Beauty
better
and
because
crown.
my chief warrant officer actually bought the place, so it turned around.
No.
But so when I met her, she was working as a cashier at Kroger right up the street from where my house was. So
Her
I was
day
living
job.
I guess that was her day job. So me and her started dating. Now I was
superhero.
infantry, so I was never, being infantry, I was never there. I was either in the field or deployed. So the year and a half that we were dating, I was there maybe 5 months total, out of that with her. So we decided to get married October of '99. I brought her home to Kentucky for Thanksgiving. On the way back home to Jacksonville, she's like, I'm never coming back to Kentucky. I was like, all right. I knew it was over right then. It was like, all right, it's over. I deployed to go to Bridgeport, California, 1st of December.
Ooh.
Came back on the advance party on December 30th. Drove home, and I pulled down my street. And you know how they say you get that intuition, the gut feeling? Literally, I pulled on my street, and it's like, something's not right. Pulled down the street, pulled in the driveway, not a car in sight. Open the door, hear music playing in the back bedroom. I was like, oh fuck. So I walked down the hallway.
Wow.
And she's on top of this guy. And I just turned around and walked out. And
Face.
dude, I turned around and walked out. Went up to my buddy's house, Jason Gray and Belinda. I went to high school with them, and they lived like 6 houses from me. And knocked on the door, and Belinda said, I got something to tell you. I said, you ain't got to tell me I just caught her. She said, yeah, she's been cheating on you the whole time. And I'm like, the whole time I was gone or the whole time we were dating? And she said, the whole time you were dating. I was like, okay, and you waited till I married her to tell me this?
Jody.
That's a true
You caught her
Jody
with
right
Jody. You caught her.
That's a true Jody.
I gave him a little piece of chocolate and didn't realize that everybody was unwrapping it.
But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. The guy that she was screwing around with me on was a Navy guy.
I'm
That's
not.
always how it works.
So and we
The
had
semen.
hung out.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, he worked in the podiatry clinic.
Oh yeah, of course.
So and the story was when I met him the first time, because I hadn't met him before this happened, was that her best friend cousin had dated him previously, and they were friends. So that's and I should have, but
Come on,
Likely story.
right. So afterwards, I moved back on base, and some of my junior Marines came up to me and said, hey, Corporal Willis, your wife is working at a strip club? And I'm like, no, I did not know, because I'm separated. They're like, yeah, there's this new strip club that's you got to bring your own booze because they didn't have a liquor license yet. It was called Bada Booze, is what it was called.
BYOB.
Yeah.
This story is getting so much better.
It was called
man.
Bada
True
Booms.
story, bro.
And it's true story. It was called Bada Booms, and they're like, "Oh yeah, she's working at the strip
Bada
club."
Booms.
I'm like, "All right, whatever." And which I didn't know at the time that she had stripped before I met her, and then she went back to stripping after me and her separated, and it's just like, whew. But anyway, I am the true Marine. Let's put it that way, because I didn't marry a stripper.
Dang, dude. Yeah, you're the one the stories are about.
Yeah,
for sure.
You were my safety brief.
And Jody. And you got a Jody story. I mean,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah. Oh
full
man.
circle, bro.
I mean, when I was in Pensacola for my A school, I thought that the true Marine experience was what they called the Delta Challenge. And so the way that the barracks are set up in Pensacola, Florida, I don't know if either of y'all have been there before, but I was there for 6 months, and it was right out of MCT. And after I get there, we get safety briefs. Obviously stay away from the local women, blah 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 blah. They know your pay schedule more than you do.
Yeah,
same old stuff. So we get told by the staff sergeant that was there at the barracks, and he was like, "You ever heard of the Delta Challenge?" And I was like, "What the hell's the Delta Challenge?" So apparently there's a challenge. I don't know how likely it is that this is still going on. I wouldn't be surprised, but just in case, what you do is the Delta Challenge, because Pensacola Air Station is a naval air station.
Right.
So the barracks are set up where like Alpha barracks have like Air Force, Bravo barracks have Marines, Charlie Delta. Well, Delta had female Navy only. So the Delta challenge is to see how many female Navy sailors that you could sleep with unprotected without getting an STD.
What?
I swear
Bryan,
to God.
What's your number?
Oh my gosh.
I will not
bro.
disclose that. I am a married man and I am very faithful and happy in my marriage right now.
Were you
taking
married
it
then?
to the grave? He said,
No, hell no, no. I was 23.
Look, that's where the number 30 really came from.
No, no, it wasn't. Well, no, it wasn't that many.
Oh.
No, but
Okay.
I mean, it was. I was 23 when I was in Pensacola, and I mean, it was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong.
I'm sure.
it's a different type of college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Because I mean, realistically, it's like, all right, you're there, and like he said, like Bryan said, you're away from your parents for the first time, and you don't have anybody telling you shit, and you could just kind of do what you want,
acting a fool.
Yeah, and you just do the dumbest stuff, and it was worth that in Pensacola you could have like keg parties on the beach, and they had bars on the beach, that like one was called Crabs. Weird.
That's a Marine trouble. That place sounds like
it was
just
so
trouble.
bad, dude.
I feel like
so
the
bad.
bar named Crabs is the one that you should have stayed away from.
Right.
No, I did not stay away from there. That was it was the best. So
it's an attraction.
They legitimately had drinks called crab traps for like $8, and it came in a 32-ounce mason jar. And it was like 90% alcohol with like 12 different alcohols.
Did it come with a razor?
And no, it should have.
Yeah,
but no. After like you go there, you spend $20 for 2 of those 32-ounce mason jars. You're hammered. I don't care how high your alcohol tolerance is. You're getting annihilated. So like, I would just go to the beach and get a couple crab traps and just have fun on the sand with my buddies, and
and you'd
like,
be a crab trap.
Yeah, but like no, the women in Pensacola, they did not disappoint. There's a place called Artie's Angels where you go and you pay $5, and they give you a clear like solo cup, and they put your name under it in a Sharpie, and you get unlimited draft beer from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Oh shit.
So I would go there, pay $5 and get the cup, and just it was a strip club. So some skimpy, wearing clothing, woman would come up to you and like refill your cup every 10-15 minutes, and you're just sitting there pounding beers, and you go there, you drink on a budget.
Next song that comes out is going to be called Crab Trap.
Don't tempt me. I'll do it.
I know.
You
just have to do
Marines
like Eminem version for Theory.
Yeah, I do it.
Marines have the craziest stories, straight up. Like,
if we were to get a G-rated story.
Yeah, like if we were to kind of get into the weeds of things, it probably wouldn't be good, right? Like it just,
would be banned from Facebook Live.
Yeah, like it was a good thing they didn't have cell phones back in our days, and things weren't recorded as much.
No evidence.
But the shenanigans that I see, I'm like, well, I don't know if they got anything on us, to be honest with you.
No,
but
hell
like,
no.
Yeah, I can tell you some stories that'll make you fucking blush. And, and literally,
I'm not gonna air myself out like that, but I got plenty.
Right.
I know that I've probably disclosed some of my stories. I don't know if they've ever been disclosed on tape, so to speak, but yeah, some of them, especially on deploying on our way deploying out to the Middle East. We got stuck in Frankfurt, Germany.
Oh god!
And we were also directed to not go out into that town and all this stuff. So what happened for us, like, is I mean, after I went to Camp Johnson, I know Camp Johnson got us going on a whole thing, but after Camp Johnson, shit didn't pop off for me until like 2001 hit. And then when 2001 hit, they were basically telling us go to our, fucking back to our barracks, junk on the bunk and all this stuff. I'm at Camp Pendleton at the time. Nothing popped off for us for another 2 years. Then I got orders as an early party to go over to Kuwait, which was Camp Commando, to set up a camp there and stuff like that. So they send us out, right? And I get my orders. There's 300 Marines on this on the plane, and we fly out of March Air Force Base, and we have our M16s with us. We have all of our sea bags, all of our shit, and we're thinking we're going a direct flight to Kuwait, right? Well, it goes from March Air Force Base. I think we stop in Germany. Frankfurt, Germany is where we end up going to. Now,
My daddy did live in Germany.
when we get to Frankfurt, Germany, it was supposed to be like a quick layover. Well, I guess they end up having some kind of issues with the brakes or something like that, right? So they're like, oh, we got to put all these Marines into a hotel.
Oh, shit.
That's a bad idea.
Bad idea.
So,
Big mistake.
well, first off, we all have our M16s with us, right? So they have to send some of these guys off to the armory. So it was like you, all the volunteers.
Yep.
Working parties.
Get your ass going. We're going. You guys are going to the armory. Well, the rest of us got on we left our M16s with the working party, and we all get on a bus, and they take us up to a hotel, and they give us basically like their safety brief, right? Don't leave the hotel. Whatever you do not leave, because we're all fucking in our camis, and at this time we're wearing the old school camis and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we're definitely stick out like a sore thumb. Now we're sitting there, and the staff sergeant, and we go down to the bar, right? Like they put us two to a room. We go to our rooms, and they didn't say we cannot go down to the bar down there. All these motherfuckers end up down there, right? Underage
in Germany, of course.
Shit.
Yeah,
everybody's down there, and we're just fucking drinking away. So we're getting blitzed, dude. And this one staff sergeant, he was like, "Hey, listen, you guys need to go to the ATM." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Shit, man! They just said we can't leave." He's like, "Fuck it. I'm a staff CEO. You're not all leaving. We're just a couple, right?" And I was like, "Fuck it." And so he gives me about 5 fucking ATMs. They write on their PIN numbers, and we asked the concierge guy how to get to an ATM, and it's fucking not that close, right? And I'm like, fuck. So there's 3 of us on this little mission, and we fucking go to ATM, pulling out because we had to get what the fuck was it out there? Euros. We had to get euros out there. So
yeah,
we're all pulling out euros, right? And so we go back, and I don't know if I should tell this part of the story.
Come on, you have to. You cannot.
So, all
You can't lead up to it.
I was like, I went deep. I don't think I was out. All right, so oh no. All right, so anyhow, get back to the hotel, and the staff sergeant went and asked the concierge, like, send women here. I am not kidding. There was a bus full of them that came out, and they're wearing like fur and like skimpy stuff, like
fur and skimpy.
They came from the red light district.
18 years old, I'd have been like, hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. So, I'm not going to lie, bro. Like, it's, we're all like thinking we're all going out to war. This is our last opportunity.
Oh my God.
The staff sergeant straight up picked 2 girls, and he was like, you guys can pick the rest.
Damn.
He took the 2 girls and left, went up to his room. Me and my boy Martinez, we grabbed ours. Everybody kind of did their thing, right? Everybody is, I'm telling you, drunk, dude. And we have to be in formation by 3:03 a.m. You know, we're
Didn't
like,
happen.
by the thing, all this is all going down. It's like 1 a.m. You know,
Oh,
over
shit.
there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So everything's all up to the press. Literally, we're kicking these girls out the room. We're trying to get ready as we go out into the hallway. Bro, they're carrying out fools like literally cannot walk. PFCs, privates, like guys that are like 18, not supposed to even be drinking. Even, you know, when you're in the military, even no matter where you're at, you still got to follow under the UCMJ, whatever.
Yep.
Right.
So, but these fools didn't give a shit. No one gave a shit, right? So we're all trying to get down to formation, bro. And when I tell you this colonel's losing his shit,
Oh yeah.
I can only imagine,
bro, because I mean, fools are literally like trying to sway in formation. He's like, get that son of a bitch on the curb. Oh, you know, he's just losing it, bro. Like, I mean, just because everybody is acting, we're done, son. We're laughing. Fools are laughing at him,
Of course.
losing it. I mean, it is a clusterfuck at this point in time.
Oh,
So they get us all on the bus, and we all go back to the airport, and it's dead ass silence, dude, because everybody's fucking just knocked out, right? We get to the airport, we get in the little tarmac, we have to sit and wait. Everybody's knocked out. So finally, it's time to get on the plane. We get on the plane, everybody knocks out. Within 15 minutes, though, dude, it was like, boo-doo-doo. We're going to be needing you guys to tuck your heads in between your legs. We're going to be doing an emergency landing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we're like, we're all fucking dead ass, like hungover, like, no. So, like, they make us do this whole tucking thing. We land. We're right back in Frankfurt, Germany. We went nowhere. So we're like, oh, shit, round 2 tonight, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Round
You know,
2.
I mean, everybody's thinking, fuck yeah.
I guess a
So
whole
guess
new
what?
reason for
Guess
Coke.
what? For the next round of Voluntold, me, good old Lance Corporal Roof at the time. I think I picked up Corporal while I was there. Literally, when I got over to Kuwait, I'm sitting there, bro, and Roof. I'm like, no, I got to go to the armory now. Now it's my turn to do the whole armory thing and be on the damn working party. Everybody else gets on the bus. I'm watching
Has
them
a
all.
good
Yeah.
Waving. I'm thinking, oh, you fuck. I'm like, we're going to party again. So we go to the armory, do our thing, go back to the hotel. I'm like, oh, looking around, bro. I can see the bar and it's dead, you know? I'm like, oh. This gunny comes over to the desk. He was like, hey, Devil Dog, check in, go straight to your room. Curfew's done. He was like, there ain't no more, no partying, no more drinking, nothing. I was like, damn.
Dang.
So literally they gave me a key to my room, and I had my own room, bro. So I went up there, dude. I was like, I had a robe. I had a garden tub. I was taking a bath.
Oh, yeah.
I got out and got in my robe, bro. I was sitting on that German bed, just watching German TV, and I just conked out. And then I was like, I was ready for the day by the time I woke up for the next time, because I didn't get to party. I just
Nice.
Like, I know, I
That's
gotta
awesome.
ask, like, Ryan, I know that you had you've been on here longer than what you were planning.
No,
So-
it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
no,
was
it's
saying,
good.
I wanted to try to get a couple of things out before we lost you, but
No, you're good.
so great.
I got time. I want to do this
You got
country
something.
song. I
Right.
mean, I don't have to have it until tomorrow. And I mean, to be completely honest with you, like with the type of song that this guy's wanting me to do for him, like I've never written a song for somebody else, right? Like I've never done that. And you know, I've given some ideas for like different bars and lines and, you know, so on and so forth with, you know, a couple friends of mine to use, you know, oh, well, I think that would sound really dope if you said something like this, or if they're in a rut and they can't think of anything, you know, sometimes it's nice to just have somebody throw an idea your way and it might blossom into some big, huge thing. So, but I've never actually gone and done a full song for somebody. But the type of song, because it's like a love song, and I'm really in tune with that kind of side with the music. But I don't also have to be like super technical with my wordplay, and I don't have to like, go super deep into metaphors and similes. And like I said, double entendres and things like that. Like I don't have to go rapidy rap. I'm going to be singing throughout the whole thing. So,
Nice.
it won't take me any time at all to write this song. So
I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. One, because everybody got to hear your newest song today, your latest drop.
Yeah.
Like for everybody watching and commenting and who will listen, like where can everybody find you? Like, I know you're everywhere, but where can they find you? Where can they find Theory?
Yeah. So if you look up TH30RY on any streaming platform that you can stream music, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Google Play, Deezer, Tidal, YouTube, just to name some of the bigger ones. The distributor that I use, I use DistroKid to distribute my music. So they distribute to like over 100 different stores. So I mean, you could find me on any streaming platform. Just type in Theory, TH30RY, and I'm pretty sure I'm one of the only ones.
Awesome.
It might be spelled differently, but I did check the trademark database and nobody has trademarked that name. So that is next, because I trademarked my LLC that I made for my music from the bottom, which is FTB. So that
your name.
Yeah, that is under my name for my music. I kind of made that because I wanted to have something a little more professional looking as an independent artist at the time. It was, if I get booked at venues, I want them to be able to pay the business. And, if I get new equipment, I want to be able to write that off as a tax write-off, and all that stuff that I'm investing into myself and my brand. So I created an LLC, and then I had it trademarked once I was going to turn it into my own independent label with some friends of mine. That just didn't end up working out because some of the people did not want to put in the work. So I just decided to drop that idea, and I just signed with big homies. But no ill will, obviously, towards any of those guys. They're all still very talented and very good friends of mine, but we just didn't see, the same kind of vision. We didn't have the same kind of dedication and drive.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
So Falling from Grace dropped on Friday, right? So everybody can find that now.
Yes.
And then
Carpe Diem is his latest album that just released.
Yes.
Carpe Diem came out in the beginning of April. That is probably my favorite piece of work, content wise. It's more my style of rap that I grew up listening to. The way that I rap, the beat selection, there's a lot of old school kind of, soulful samples that I used in the beats that I made, and also the ones that I purchased from other producers. It's not a very long album. It's a 9-song album. I didn't produce every beat on there, but I did for a couple of them. But it's a very soulful kind of vibe. It's very uplifting. It's very positive. It's, like I said earlier, it's me kind of showing the world that I'm comfortable with myself and being in my own skin, and kind of going back to why I started doing music in the first place. And going back to that instead of trying to prove that I think I'm going to be the best. And, every rapper, will say, I'm the best, but, Kendrick Lamar said it best. Somebody asked him in an interview, so you talk about that you think you're the best in the world. And Kendrick Lamar was like, you have to. Otherwise, why are you doing it? Like, you should always want to one up yourself is what he means by it. And that's kind of the mentality that I go about. You don't have to, I'm not saying that I'm better than Eminem or, better than anybody else that is considered the GOAT, but to myself in my own eyes, I feel like I'm the best that I can be. So, but yeah, that's a very, very uplifting album, very positive album. Carpe Diem, that's out.
So we want everybody to get on any streaming platform, look up the Carpe Diem, find the Falling from Grace, watch out for some new singles that are coming out before the end of the year, including his like going to be the top hit of all time. It's called Crab Trap.
Yeah.
David Durbin, thanks for showing up, man. We'll catch you later, man.
Thank you. I know we talked before the show. Like, I didn't put you on the spot because it wasn't live, but you said you might do something for us live if you're still interested in that.
Well,
but I did have one question, and I'm
you always have one question.
Well, this is my question.
No, ask away.
Eminem,
Seriously.
Like newest single, Abracadabra.
Houdini.
Houdini.
Yeah, Houdini. It's
Abracadabra.
So, I love it. Reason for that is because musically, I've always liked Eminem's music. Like, from the very first time I heard him with the Infinite, album, or the Infinite single. That was the first single I ever heard from him. That's like before the Slim Shady LP. Like, this is old Eminem.
Right.
And just his wordplay and everything that he was saying, I loved it. So I've always liked his music. I personally have never thought that he's fallen off. You'll see it on social media all the time where, he's in his 50s now and, he fell off and he's, this and he's that. And the Music to Be Murdered By album wasn't that good. And the way that he raps is trash. And it's just like, I've always had a gigantic amount of respect for the man's craft and his pen because he's so clever. And people are right in a sense where it's like a lot of people don't want to hear the lyrical, spiritual, miracle shit. They don't want to, they're not going to sit there. A good portion of the people aren't going to sit there and decipher bar structure and be able to understand how you went from, a certain like flow pattern to another. Like you go from a triplet to a quadruple, note bar structure and things like that. You're not really going to understand it. Yeah. So like I understand that, but there are those hip hop heads, which is kind of my target audience for the most part, that appreciate the craft for that reason. Yeah. So when people say that about Eminem, they're like, whatever. And I'm like, I've always loved it. So when he came out with Houdini, I thought it was very nostalgic. I enjoyed a lot of the references, going back to like the Without Me song, where the, guess who's back again? That was very nostalgic. It was cool for him to reference the old stuff, to bring back the Robin costume, to bring back the whole him and Dre, yakking at each other and battling it out. And like, it was very entertaining. The video was awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I thought that there was a couple Easter eggs in there that he left for how the album is going to be, because it's called The Death of Slim Shady, and everybody's like, oh, he's going to kill off that side, which is really the most popular side that people want him to bring back so much, because that's the I don't give a fuck side of Eminem.
Right.
But I think that it's, when he says something about the kidnapping never did happen, like Sherry Papini, you read into that story and it's just like, okay, so she faked her own kidnapping. And it's like, okay, so the album's called The Death of Slim Shady. What if he's just trying to make everybody think that it's going to be Slim Shady being killed off because he's outgrown that side of himself? But really it's like, I'm just trolling the shit out of you guys because he's a huge troll. So
the greatest thing about him is you never know what to expect with him. And
and I mean, I don't know if you guys had seen it, but I follow him on Instagram and on Facebook, but Instagram, he always posts some new stuff, little snippets and whatnot. And he just put out a snippet. I saw it for the first time yesterday, but it's him in a Jason mask again. And, it's a song featuring Big Sean and I think Baby Troy or Babytron. And it's there. You don't get much of a snippet of the lyrics, but you get a little bit of the beat. But basically, he's standing in a Jason mask and he's got a chainsaw, and Big Sean and Babytron just come behind him, and he starts the chainsaw, and then he starts going below the camera. There's blood splattering all over his jumpsuit, and then the camera pans out. He takes the Jason mask, and there's a chalk line, a body chalk line, on the floor. and it's like, okay, that's dropping July 2nd.
Nice.
So I'm
2 days.
ungodly excited about that. Apparently, he's releasing the album July 5th.
Nice.
Is what everybody says. So I'm, whether or not that is going to be the album or the single that everybody's talking about right now, but it doesn't
Right.
matter to
I
me.
think it's the true definition of love hate, because
Well-
it's what some people love about him, the other people hate about him. But I was just curious your thoughts on the new song, and I don't know what beat are you going to try to play for Ryan this time?
Well, actually, I want to talk with Bryan real quick because he's got a hard stop at 5:30 his time, so 8:30.
Oh, yeah.
our time.
By all means, take your time. I can just send you something if you want. I can send you a beat to play or something. I don't know.
Yeah, if you want to send it to me, you can email
Yeah,
it
while you're talking to Brian, I can
That'll work. That'll work.
send it to you. Yeah.
So Bryan, tell me what got you interested in podcasting? Why did you start podcasting?
To be honest with you, bro, is kind of the same way I joined the Marine Corps. I just hair up my ass. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start a podcast, and I kind of grew up listening to a lot of talk radio, like Howard Stern, and a lot of other radio shows. And I kind of always liked that kind of stuff anyway. So I don't know. I was like, oh, let me try it. And when I started it, I didn't know what the hell to do. I was like, but you know what? I was like, I've been through a lot as a kid and stuff. I went through a divorce. All this stuff. I ended up joining the Marine Corps unexpectedly, that wasn't really my path. And then when I joined, it was peacetime in the year 2000. And then when, all that stuff. And I was like, oh man, let me tell my story. And, and when I got out, same thing. I went through a marriage, had kids, was dealing with mental health problems that I wasn't even aware of at the time. So I wasn't the best version of myself for my 2 older kids. And I've had to kind of accept that, right, to kind of move on and heal, and also to have a better relationship with them too, like accept some stuff that maybe I wasn't the right dad for you guys. So I kind of told my story, right? And that's kind of how I started. And then as I was going, I was like, I kind of like this. I like talking about myself. I was like, I bet there's other people out there that would love to tell their stories, right? Yeah. So it was a little rough at first, kind of trying to find some people. Like I started off with guys I served with, and I had a couple like, yeah, bro, I'll do it, and never really do it, or I don't want to do it, man. Like don't want to tell all this stuff. And it's like, chill out, bro. Like,
Right.
The government already knows everything they know.
Yeah.
Relax yourself. You got a cell phone, they know everything. So
I mean,
but anyhow, so once I did that, I my dad, a good buddy of my dad who served in the Navy, was more than willing to jump on. And I was like, all right, cool, man. And at this time, I literally took my cell phone, my gaming headset, and just started recording from there. Right. And I had found podcasters for Spotify or and it was a free thing. And I was like, cool. So I just started like downloading there. So my friends and family started listening to it. And then I started getting private messages. I like what you're doing, bro. Like, keep going. And I was like, oh, shoot, man. So I was like, all right, my vision is to like try to build it up and get the equipment and just try to make it better as I go. And so I think I did about 9 audio. And then, like I said, like my big goal was like, I don't think I said this, but I really want to be on video. So I worked up the balls and all that. Cause I was like, cause before, dude, I was sitting there writing notes and stuff. Right. And I was way more scripted, I would say, like when I first started, trying to like go through all the stuff. And then I got myself where I was more comfortable. And I say like the first 3 interviews I did was straight up like questions, like number 1, like 2. And then, I'm kind of going through all my questions, and it didn't feel natural to me. And then all of a sudden I had someone on, and then we went more with a natural conversation, asked questions in between the time. And I was like, all right, cool. I like this a little better. Right.
Yeah.
And then, so that's kind of what I started doing. Then I started learning about Canva, the Adobes, and how to do little intros and outros and, the backgrounds and all the
Yeah.
things, you know, that you kind of
Yeah.
start to learn. And I mean, I don't know how many YouTube videos I watched and just trying to give myself the best chance I have. And I'm
Yeah.
like, because dude, everybody has a podcast now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
every NFL player has their own. Every actor or actress is dang near got their own now. I mean, so
Yeah.
you know, you're up with all these people that got their name out there, the Joe Rogans, and so you know, you just got to really, when you're by yourself, you got to grind, bro. You know that it's like
Yeah.
I call it myself the me self production, right? Because it's me, myself, and I'm
Yeah.
the lights, camera, action dude, right? I mean,
Same.
I like that.
you know, and I was gonna do one of my seasons where I was gonna start like, hey, bro, you're messing up with the damn lights again, you know, and just start spouting off to Nowhereville, right? Like, and acting like I have a whole production, like, damn it, man, these guys are messing up again. Like, anytime I make a mistake, like,
It's somebody else's fault. Yeah. Yeah.
oh, you're killing us here. We're live, you know, like, I wanted to start doing stuff like that to kind of add a little humor, but never really kind of ran with that. But I thought it would be funny because, bro, you don't realize how much comes with being a podcaster.
Oh, it's
right?
a buttload.
Like, I mean, it could be easy as just recording yourself and stuff, but if you want to kind of stay up with all the stuff, you got to drop reels. You got to, hey,
Mhm.
you know, my episode's dropping on this day. You got to stay relevant, bro, because there's just everybody, you're competing
Yeah.
with everybody else.
Yeah.
I was in the world of, I didn't really like reels and all that stuff because I thought it was like, wow, bro, we only got like a 4-second span of, but then I was like, well, I better do it because everybody's watching these stinking things.
Well, that kind of goes back to Ryan's song, "Falling from Grace." Like,
yeah,
if you don't do reels and you don't, you know, keep yourself relevant out there, then you fall from grace. And for me, like, I do reels, but I don't do them. I don't think I do them enough. For
Yeah.
one, but also
I
a
had that
lot of
same problem.
yeah.
My
Same.
content creation is something that I have to work on because you know, like you're saying, Brian, you know, there's a lot that goes into it. You know, it's same thing with the musician. You know, it's not just write a song and then put it out on a distributor so it can go on Spotify, and then you think that you're going to be this huge, you know. And sometimes that's how it is for people too. You know, you could blow up off of TikTok. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of these guys are doing that, but like you're 100% right. There's so much more that goes into that, and there's so much planning. And a lot of these people will create rollouts for their podcast episode or for their album or a single, and you have to create content to push that to get it to hit the algorithm, so that way you're in front of more eyes. You had to do paid advertising, which is something that Big Homies is looking into right now for their artists. You know, it's so much.
And you got to be
work.
on every platform. And then you got to go to every platform and do it.
Yep.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
I'm on Clapper. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram.
Yeah.
So
if you haven't looked into
LinkedIn.
this, look into this app. I'm not in any way sponsored by this company, so don't take that as
but shit, it makes
plug.
life easier. Let me
but
know.
like I use this app. It's called Metricool. Let me see how to spell it.
Metricool.
Metricool. It looks like a little
All right, cool. Yeah.
All right. I see it.
a little infinity sign. So that will actually you utilize that app, and what it'll do is you sign into like all your different social medias, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, all that, LinkedIn. You could do as many as they have on there. I don't know exactly how many they have on there, but I'm sure there's a ton. And what you'll do is you'll have a calendar, and you can upload one video. So like, let's say you make a little reel for your upcoming podcast episode and you want to distribute it. So instead of going to Facebook, typing out your caption and then uploading it, and then after that's done, you go to Instagram, type in your caption, post it. TikTok, do the same thing. So instead of doing that, you do it on Metricool, upload it, type in your thing. You can create it to come out at a later date, or you can post it right then and there. And it will post to all the different social medias that you're signed into on the app, all simultaneously.
Nice.
That's nice, man.
That
So-
that makes it so much
Thanks,
easier.
Ryan.
Yeah,
so
'cause
much
there is
easier.
a lot of different places that you got to go to and
Yeah.
disperse. Like it's some of them, like I know Instagram will talk with Facebook. Sometimes you could do a reel on Instagram and it will
Yeah.
you can connect it with. But yeah, dude, there's just too many different places now. And
Yeah.
everybody kind of has their different place that they like to go in their platform. You know,
Yeah.
it's even just with I noticed when it came down to Spotify, Apple, and all those, people were like, well, do you have it under this? Because I like to listen to this. And I'm like, well, I will. Now that I know that that exists, like, shoot, let me just know, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's what's cool about this.
No,
Metricool, 'cause-
Yeah, Metricool is
no, that
really
is super
awesome.
cool.
And like you can upload more than one video. It doesn't have to be one. But like when you open the app after you sign up, it's a free app. You don't have to pay a membership or like a
that's
monthly
nice.
fee.
Yeah.
Upload multiple videos and you can schedule them to come out on different days throughout the month or whatever you know the plan is. So it's like you create your own rollout plan, and then when it hits midnight on that day that you schedule it, it'll drop on all the platforms that you select it to drop on, and it does it, you know, worry free. So you don't
And
ever
I bet
have to worry about it.
and I bet you for the paid version, you get an AI that helps you with the SEO stuff and all that. See, like that's the other thing that people like start to learn and stuff when you get into this is SEO, which is a search engine optimization or something like that. And that has to do with their titles of your videos and algorithm and all that stuff. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
So I'm on their website right now. So you got Zero, which gives you management of all of your brands, social media accounts, planning.
That's
up
all
to
I
50,
need.
Yeah, planning up to 50 pieces of content per month, analysis of 5 competitor profiles, creation of 1 link in bio through smart links, access to analytics with 3 months of historical data, utilize the AI social media assistant. So that's in the free version. Then they got one for $18 a month that does, let's see, scheduled unlimited pieces of content per month, LinkedIn connection, limited Twitter analytics, analysis over 100 competitor profiles, downloadable reports in PDF and PPT, multiple links in bio with smart links. So definitely depending on what you want to pay for. But it looks like the free one would be plenty.
That's all you really need.
Totally sufficient enough.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I was watching. I follow this guy on Instagram. He's called. He goes by Crackalak. He is a producer. He's an engineer. He is a videographer, photographer. Considers himself just a content creator. And he drops a massive amount of gems for independent artists and photographers and videographers and all that, mainly for music artists. But I mean, he definitely will drop these gems for you. And Metricool was one of the things that I heard him talk about on his most recent interview. He went and gave like a speech or something, did a talk at some little convention, and a lot of these independent artists were at this talk, and they had questions for him, and he had shouted out Metricool. And ever since then, I looked it up and I was like, oh, this is cake, dude. So I would look into that if I were you for your podcasting even. So
I'm definitely going to look into that because
100%.
It is hard. Like Bryan said, it's hard when you have to go to all these different, log into all these different friggin' things. And then like with me, I have my personal stuff and then I have my HomeFront stuff and switching back and forth. And so having one app that I can log into all these different platforms and do that, it would make it. Now I use Opus Clips, so I can download, my clips through there and then just upload them to Metricool and boom, and be good. So I'm definitely going to have to look into that because
think about how many more platforms you can pick with that, because it's not that frustrating sitting there forever trying to and then forgetting one. And
instead of taking half an hour to go through, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all that, like you can literally just make it on Metricool and then it does it for you. So it's so cake. But my problem isn't the know-how. My problem is getting the motivation to actually get up and do it.
Yeah.
as far as creating content, because I'm not shy on the camera, but like I don't really know what to make except, you know, a video of me recording myself like standing in front of the microphone like this and just rapping. Like,
Yeah.
And granted, that still counts as content, and that can still generate, you know, I watch those videos all the time, but I actually appreciate the art.
I've still done real dumbass shit on TikTok. You know,
Yeah.
I've made myself look like a fool plenty of times on TikTok. Just
Oh,
not giving a fuck.
Here.
Like, hey, you know?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
you gotta do is tell a Marine story. Like,
yeah, there was a video I posted on TikTok like a month and a half ago, and it was my Vivint camera right by my shed where my studio's at. And,
yeah, I seen that.
As soon as I walked out, I ripped ass, and I forgot that the camera was there. And as soon as I did it, I heard my Vivint camera go off and do the little do, and I was like,
Oh,
shit. So I looked back at the camera and I'm like, I wonder if he got it. And I looked and I did, and I was like, it's content. Why not? It's funny.
No.
Like, and funny thing is, it's funny, but it's not funny at the same time, because I'm trying to, like, you know, pursue my passion and become a bigger artist and more well known.
This is the lighter side of you, though, you know?
Yeah, but like at the same time, that video got so many more plays and views than me posting a serious video about my fucking song. You know what I mean? Like, my song will get 300-400 plays on TikTok, maybe like 50 likes and 7 comments, and that fucking video where I farted in my Vivint cam got like, I don't know, like 1,800 views and like 140 something likes, and I'm just like, so maybe I should just fart in all my videos and people will like it, and people will be like, this guy's really cool, and then I can start just doing it at shows too. Like,
hey, I'm telling you though, on TikTok, I'll be slipping through there, and some of the lives I'm on there with that have a lot of people on there just donating. They're doing the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I've seen people acting like they're like, oh.
Yeah.
And then like, thank you for the roses. Thank you for the roses.
Well, hell, I seen a video today. It was somebody. It was AI generated, I'm assuming, but it was about Taylor Swift farting in the microphone. She was singing, and all of a sudden it went down behind her butt, and there was a fart noise. I was like, God damn! And it already had like 1 million views. I was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, man.
That stuff is gonna keep the attention of the people, and it's gonna make them look at your page, like, and be like, what other stupid shit is this guy doing?
Yeah.
And that's how you get those views. And it's so sad. And like, when you look at it from a professional standpoint, it's like everybody wants to see that real side of you. So it's like, you know, I don't want to go look up somebody's profile if they're super serious all the time and it's all straight rapidy rap.
Right.
And it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool for a little bit, but let me see you.
Yeah.
You know, let me see your humor. Let me see you smile. Let me see you laugh. Let me into your world. You know what I mean? So it's always nice to keep it light like that, and I try to as much as possible. But
heck yeah,
you know, it's difficult to try and cope with that reality where it's like they just want to see dumb shit versus real shit. And you know,
so
it is what it
Bryan,
is.
I know, Bryan, you got a few more minutes before you got to jump off with your hard stop. So you are co-founder of Military United Podcast Streams, and you're involved with a little bit of all kinds of things outside of, you know, doing your own podcast. So tell me, what was the ideal behind founding Military United Podcast Streams, you and Donald Dunn, and then kind of go what you got going on right now?
Yeah. So first off, when I met Donald, he was trying to build up Veterans Voice Radio, which back then was 2 drunk dudes in a gun room, and you know, it was just him by himself, right? And he was like kind of asking if anybody wanted to jump on, kind of start DJing some shows, you know, things like that. And I was like, you know, fuck it, man. I remember when I was in junior high doing a class as a DJ and loving it and wanting to, you know, but it's like I never pursued that in life, right? So it's kind of weird that came back and I got the opportunity. Then when I found out it was veterans, that were the musicians or family members of someone that had served. I was just like, damn, this is cool. And then I started listening and I was like, wow, some of these fucking people should be like playing on the radio. Like, I was just like, this is pretty nice. So I was like, yeah, man, I'll go ahead. And he plugged me in and got me a show. And I started doing this lunchtime show. It was like on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I did for a couple hours just playing, music. And I would do little comedy bits, from veteran comedy and stuff like that. And I just started really having a lot of fun with it. And then we had kind of started getting involved with other networks and stuff like that. And kind of the way things were kind of going in there, we were like, we kind of wanted to disassociate ourselves kind of from that. And we thought, let's kind of do something on our own though, right? Like, let's kind of make it our own. He wanted to do the musician side, and I was like, well, let's do the podcasting streaming side, like, because there's gamers out there that are veterans. I've interviewed a gunnery sergeant that retired. Now he's out there Facebook gaming, Marine 1169, cool, awesome dude. I've had him on my show a couple times, but like just showcasing more. I wanted another place for our veterans to have a chance to be looked at and seen. And I thought it would be cool kind of to have a network of different podcasters and all that. And so that way people can start going and having one-stop shop. And it's not just one podcast, it's all different podcasts. Mm-hmm. And it's getting different versions and different stories of different people. I mean, it doesn't matter, bro. I mean, I know you've had several people on that I've had on, right? Yep. And vice versa. And no matter what, it's always a different interview, right?
Yeah,
so it's that's the great thing about it, is getting to see everybody else's version of what they want in their shows, or the questions they might ask and the interaction they have with the guest or whatever. It's always a different, piece of the pie to me. And that's what I think is unique. And that's why for me, I thought it would be great building a network and having as many podcasters as we could go, for a couple reasons, right? For one, now we have each other to lean on. Hey, bro, I'm going through this. Oh, I've already been through that, bro. Let's, here, why don't you try this? Or, just a different way to network and have another way to, like, so we have a podcasting place where we could go chat and then share also great guests, right? Like, hey, bro, I've had this amazing guest on. They want to be seen by as many podcasts. Boom, let's pimp them out, right? And I'm all about pimping out all my guests or whoever, because I know that they want to get their stories out. And that's what we are at Avenue, right? Is to put these stories out. I wish there was podcasts back in the World War I and II days, bro. I've been seeing some reels lately of actually interviews with some of these older timers, and I'm like, this is great. This is what we need. Yeah. And so why don't we get involved with as many people as we can, whether you've been to war, whether you haven't, whether you stayed stateside, whether you deployed. Everybody has a story, bro. And you all have a background. You came from somewhere, whether you were a cook, whether you were admin, whether you were the grunt out there doing, pounding doors down. Everybody has a great story. And I think these are my heroes, right? Everybody has their heroes, but my heroes are my brothers and sisters, the ones that came before me, the ones that are going to be after me, the ones that I serve with. These are my heroes. Mm-hmm. These are the people that I think that deserve all the attention, but don't even seek any of it. And so that's kind of one of my sayings is, I share the stories of people that don't look for attention, but deserve all of it. Right. And so that's kind of, one of the biggest reasons that I also started MUPS, as well as, just like I said, another place to network. MUPS is up to over 10,000 plus, on that side. So it's another place for someone to go broadcast their stuff and have that many different viewers and that other different people to go look at your stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. So
Brian, it's been awesome.
Lifelong dream of being a pimp, and he found a way. I love it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
No, I love it. And I was honored when you reached out to me and said, hey, I'd like to have you come on to MUPS, Military United Podcast Streams, because for me, I want to be better tomorrow, or I want to be better tomorrow than I was today. And that's what I always look at, because I always want to strive to be the best. Now,
Right.
I'm not saying I'm the best podcaster out there. I'm not at all, but I want to be.
But you
That-
better start acting like it.
I do want to be. You know, that's my plan. I want to make sure that I can help as many veterans as I possibly can.
And the other thing that we got to smash, bro, is you versus you, right? And veteran versus veteran, and all that stuff. And remember, we are a freaking team, right? And we're better
right.
off with each other. It doesn't matter if you got that going on.
Yep.
There's that many other states and cities that don't have eyeballs on it, so it doesn't matter how many people that have the same nonprofit. I hate when the world starts getting to where like we're fighting against each other, right? And then we already have a lot of slack from sometimes on the civilian side as veterans, right? And then we're in here slaughtering each other and stuff as well.
Yeah.
That's where I want to smash that kind of stuff and say,
Flexibility.
hey, bro, we could all have the same podcast and stuff and have the same guests. It's not going to be the same show. Have fun with it. Let's embrace each other. Let's cheer for each other. Let's not tear each other down, right? The world is already negative as hell. We need them people that are going to uplift each other, and we need those ones saying, hey, bro, you're doing a good job. Keep that shit going. Keep moving forward.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it,
Yeah.
man. I know you got a hard stop. It's 8:31 right now, my time, so 5:31 your time. You want any parting words before you jump out of here?
No, I just appreciate you guys taking the time to, have me on and stuff like that. Let me, jab my mouth. I can talk like a mofo. That's probably
That was a great
why I have
story.
a podcast too. And so I got plenty of stories, believe that.
Yeah.
But a lot of them I'm gonna take to the grave with me, probably.
There you go.
But anyhow, the way I like to say, to everybody, don't let the day kick your ass. Make sure you're out there kicking it. And I hope you all have an amazing week and day. And if you guys ever need someone to chat to, hit me up. There's also that 988 press 1. That's always important to me. Don't freaking make a permanent decision,
Tell
based
people
on
how
some,
they can find you.
yeah. We're all here, bro. And I just want my brothers and sisters to know, if you're going through some shit, don't worry. That will pass. You know what I mean? Just keep moving
One
forward.
of my favorite sayings, this too shall pass.
100%.
There you
And
go.
I'll definitely
There you go.
reach out to you as well, Brian.
Yes, brother,
We'll
please do,
definitely
man.
be in contact for sure.
How
Absolutely.
does everybody find you, Brian?
Hey, the best place, honestly, to check me out is on my website, is EDASUSMCVet.com. It is honestly, it has all the different places, all the platforms that I stream to, and the videos there with descriptions, my top 3 videos. I kind of try to throw it out there. I also have nonprofit organizations on there and veteran-owned businesses.
Awesome.
So I'm just trying to, make another place for my brothers and sisters to have someone to go press on their shit.
I'm gonna throw the link out in chat. So if you want to go check out his website, you can go check out his website out there. And email, they can contact you through the website. So we are good to go, my friend. Brian, it's a pleasure talking to you again, like always.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you guys. Simplify and have a great day.
Brother.
Kill.
Have a good one, man.
See ya.
Nah, it's
Cool.
super cool, man. I'm gonna fix this.
Yeah.
There we go. We're gonna do it this
Yeah,
way.
he
That
was
looks good.
cool. He was cool. I'll definitely be reaching out to him.
Yeah, definitely. He's super cool, man. And Travis, I know he just chatted in. Travis is with Oscar Mike Radio. Travis has been podcasting for 8 years. So he's been podcasting for a really long time. He's one of the OGs, and he's a Marine Corps vet as well. And so I want to give him a shout out. He jumped in here as well.
Shout out to Travis.
Marines.
Now I did upload this song.
Yes. Are you ready? I'm going to go live here with a little.
Born ready.
Is this new? Is it
It's
raw?
it's
Is
Just
it-
no, it's just a beat. If you want me to rap on it, I just sent a beat.
Yeah, he's just
No,
gonna
we want
do
him
it.
to rap.
No, you want him.
Candace wants him to rap.
I don't care. I'm always down to do
All right,
it.
let's
I
do
mean,
it. If you don't care, let's do it. We're gonna
as
play
long
the
as
beat
the
and rap.
audio is okay, because I've never done that over a computer before, so I don't know how the audio will sound
Let's play it real quick and see.
with my voice and everything.
Motherfucker, move back.
Audio sounds good.
Well,
Did you
yeah,
hear
but
it?
I heard it, but I'm talking about with my my voice, like if you'll be able to hear my
Let
voice.
We can turn this down.
I'm gonna turn the background music down that's gonna play. So let's see.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Let me turn it down a little bit more.
Okay, keep it playing. Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Can you turn it up just a little bit?
Yep.
All right. All right, so here we go. Yeah. I remember when I joined the Corps, doing the same shit every single day before. Getting drunk, getting stoned, losing jobs, lost love. I couldn't blame myself because I only wanted more. Needed change, but not the type that you need when you pour. I wanted different than my homies back at home for sure. They all told me I would end up in a fucking morgue, but dying ain't an option when you got a daughter to support. Came a long way from sleeping on my mama's floor. Now I'm chasing bags so that she ain't gotta work no more. Make a living off of this rap shit. Go out on tour, but step in front of that dream. I promise that we gon' go to war. Failure ain't a word in my vocabulary. Shit, I'd risk my life for this. It's how you know that things are getting scary. Hip-hop saved my life. I know I said it all already, but if I never started, I'd have been in the obituaries.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was awesome. Like, I just wanted to keep going.
Yeah, no, I totally could have. I actually went on a little 7.5, almost 8-minute session, just straight rapping for that. Like, didn't stop. With a buddy of mine who had like it wasn't like a podcast, but it was sort of like, I don't know, like a get together, and he just streamed it. And I went for, I think it was like 7.5 minutes. I just rapped, and I didn't stop the entire time. And he was just like, I didn't know when to stop you. He's like, I just wanted it. You just kept going. And I was like, you told me to rap. So I just rapped. And
there you
go.
So
wait, we have Ryan scheduled for another date, right?
Yes.
All
August 4th.
So if you want, have a beat ready for us. Send it to Willis.
Okay.
And we'll do it again.
I'm going to make sure. I think it is. August 4th.
August 4th. Yeah. So I actually, I had a, what was it? It was a YouTube thing. I just sometimes I just look up like old 1990s boom bap instrumentals, like boom bap hip hop instrumentals, like that New York East Coast style, that boom, like that kind of stuff. And I love that. Even though I'm from Chicago, you know, I still like the East Coast kind of sound. But I will literally go on that tangent when I'm in the shower. Like, I'll play like 90s hip hop instrumentals, and it'll be like an hour and 50 something minute long video where this dude's just playing constantly, and I'll just sit there and rap in the shower. And my wife's like, dude, you've been in the shower for like 40 minutes. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, I lose track of time because
I'm losing hot water.
yeah, no, for real. She's
well, I didn't really need that mental
shower
picture
after you, and now I gotta wait for the hot water to come back. I'm sorry.
Well, I really,
you cut them off.
And I really did need that mental picture of you in the shower singing, but okay.
Hey man, you know, it's not a bad sight. All right. Not a bad sight.
Oh hell. And you
but
did
no, I'm excited.
Look at you. You're like stuck.
Man, I tell you what, you know, us Marines, we can make each other blush. Let me tell you.
That's a crap
100%.
for sure.
And that's funny because like a lot of people will like make these little, you know, innuendos towards me to it's almost like a verbal version of the what is it, the scare game, where like you're touching somebody's legs and you're going up and up and up, closer, and you're like waiting to see when they're gonna be like, okay, dude, that's far enough, like, you know, just messing with people.
Yeah, that's a Marine thing.
I don't care. Like, you can full send it. I'm just gonna be like,
it's definitely a Marine thing, because I got a couple Marines that work with me, and you know, other people in the crew would try to fuck with this, and we just bring it right back like that. And a lot of times we shut them down, bro. Like, shut them down. It's crazy. You did have somebody sneak in on you.
scared the shit out of me, dude.
We
I
saw
didn't even
him.
know you were fucking in here. Oh my God. I saw like a white thing moving like right here. And I was like, what is going on right now?
Well, when you were rapping, they walked in.
Oh my God. You're an asshole. No, I got the headphones on. Jesus. I was like,
That was great.
I thought somebody like a ghost or something was in here. We were just talking about that the other day. Like my neighbor and I, they said that their house is haunted and they have a ghost. And they're like, sometimes I'll see it like peeking around the wall at me. And I'm just like, I would never come back to your house. Like,
well, you know, Brandon is a paranormal investigator, so we might have to get him up here to investigate, man. I think that'd be pretty cool. So
yeah, that would be insane.
But I know you got to get off here
and know.
Right. I know you got to get off here and jump out and start doing that country song. But man, I want to thank you for coming on here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait because actually we have our big homies meeting at 10 o'clock our time, 8 o'clock their time, because they're out in Salt Lake City. So it's already almost 9. So I'm just gonna wait until after the meeting. I'm probably gonna have a late night in the studio, and I'm just gonna stay up after the meeting and do what I gotta do. Send this.
We appreciate you spending all this time with us. That was awesome.
Oh, no problem. It's always a pleasure. You guys are cool. So
yeah, you know, I reached out to you earlier today and I was like, hey, you want to come on and promote your song that just dropped?
Yeah.
Because I know how important that is to you guys as artists, especially being either independent or on a label. You have to get the word out about the new songs and new releases and stuff like that. And I was like, be a perfect opportunity to have you come on because it was just released on Friday, and it's awesome. I love it. I mean, it's very catchy and it hit, and like I told you, it resonates because even as a podcaster, if you don't do all these things, you fall from grace.
Oh, it's so relatable on so many different levels.
And
and that was the goal behind that was you know, as I can speak from experience as a music artist. I don't know, you know, much about any other type of art form that other people might be into, you know, and how that song may relate to them. But I know that as a music artist, I am for sure not the only person who's ever felt that way.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you take a concept and you can make it relatable for the masses, you know, a lot of people will say that they make music for their fans, and that's 100% true. But I also try to every once in a while do something that I know can resonate more with the artists. And you know, maybe give somebody some kind of, I don't know, like a glimmer of hope that like there's other people that are also struggling with this kind of mentality. There's other people that are, you know, having these types of feelings. You know, it's just like going to Alcoholics Anonymous or, you know, to, you know, you have like the suicide hotline and all that. It's like there's people out there that are feeling the same way that you're feeling and going through the same kind of things that you're going through. So, you know, not knowing is terrible. So knowing that there's other people out there that are doing that, you know, try to talk to them every once in a while and let them know.
Yeah, definitely. So. Well, don't forget to reach out to Rick Ames. I know we talked about it beforehand. Reach out to him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach out to him after a while just to check on him, see how he's doing. But yeah, if you're out there and you got a veteran or just family member that's going through a hard time, make sure you reach out to them. You can dial 988 like Ryan was saying. If you're non-veteran, just 988. If you're a veteran, 988*1. Reach out, just talk to somebody. Hey, what's up, Rat Man? Welcome to the show, brother. But Ryan, man, it's a pleasure always talking to you. I can't wait to have you on the show and focus strictly on you and any kind of news that you got coming up, because you got a couple concerts coming up. You got one in Las Vegas coming up.
Yep.
And what's the other one? Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, yeah. Yes. Salt Lake City is going to come first. So we're actually going to be playing with Desi Hollow, who's a super, super dope artist. He's making big noise out west from the Bay Area. So, you know, he's very talented artist. I had never heard of him until Chico, the owner of Big Homies Records and Big Homies Productions. He had actually reached out to me and was like, "You ever heard of Desi Hollow?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Check this guy out and let me know what you think. Call me back." So I listened to it. I looked him up on Apple Music, and I listened to the very first song. And he did a song with Corrupt, and Corrupt is like a West Coast icon also.
Yeah.
You know, he did, you know, stuff with like Dr. Dre and, you know, DJ Quick and like all those guys, you know, Snoop Dogg. He's on Dog Pound Records or
Nice.
not well, Dog Pound, yes, but I believe it's just Death Row. But yeah, I mean, he's got a song with him, and that was the first song I heard from Desi, and I was like, this dude's dope. And now we're doing multiple shows with him, more potentially later with Desi. We're talking about it's not anything that's for sure right now, but talks about going on like a little 4 or 5 city tour with Desi.
Nice.
So we're gonna.
Is that just you, or is that you and Joey?
Well, it would be Big Homies Records. So
Nice.
so all the artists from Big Homies. You know, we also just got confirmation about being on or being a part of. We're not sure if we're going to be able to perform or not, but possibly performing for the Lowrider Super Show.
Nice.
Which is a big event. Like they're talking about like 50,000 plus people.
Oh yeah.
So if at all possible, if we're able to get on stage and, you know, even do one song, you know, in front of 50,000 people,
be well worth it.
Oh my God. Yeah. I would fly anywhere I needed to make that happen. So, I mean, you know, a lot is in the works, but July 12th in Salt Lake City, Liquid Joe's is the venue. I've performed there once before. It's a really cool venue. It's not huge, but it's about 400 person capacity. I opened up for DJ Quick there actually. It was the first show I played with Big Homies Records, and they were very, very professional. It was just an all around good experience.
Nice.
So it'll be at Liquid Joe's July 12th. You can get your tickets on bighomiesrecords.com. We do have a website. It is currently in the works, but you have the ability to go there, check out some of the artists, you know, so if you want to see any of the artists, you know, read a little biography, check out some of their music, stuff like that, you can go to bighomiesrecords.com. It's big, B-I-G, homies, HOMIEZ, records, RECORDZ.com. So it's instead of the S's at the end of Homies Records, it's just Z. So bighomiesrecords.com. You can buy tickets for both the Salt Lake City show on July 12th and for the Backstage Bar and Billiards show in Las Vegas on August 17th.
You're still missing something.
So Big Homies, BIGHOMIEZ.
Yeah. And then records with a Z.
All right, I'm gonna get that so I can put it out here. Why is it not pulling it up?
Because you didn't put it in the right search bar.
Well, I was doing Google search.
Eat a crown.
Might help.
Maybe it might.
Oh, now the meeting's moved to 10:30.
Well,
Seems like this just made my country song longer.
It's okay. I'll be all right.
Get used to country theory.
Here, Big Homie Records is not pulling up.
Big Homies Records.
Now you're putting it. Oh.
So here, let me see if I can put it in the chat with just us.
I miss Rat Man. He left us. He went to Indiana. I don't get to see him anymore.
There you go. David, I just put that in there for you.
Yeah, I was trying to pull it up on Google and it there we go.
Look at that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now there's a lot that's still being worked on with the website. It's not like 100% like completely finished yet. We're still putting like, you know, artist bios and pictures and stuff like that. Yeah. But you can go ahead and, you know, search around whatever. And then also you can go to buy the tickets for either of the shows, and we'll constantly be updating that website. We have a tech guy. His name is William.
Nice,
super
nice.
cool guy. So he's the one that's in charge of putting the website together, getting everything going on, and we're gonna constantly be updating that with like news and events and new shows and things like that. So definitely visit the website, check it out. You can get your tickets there. So if you're watching this podcast and you're in or around Las Vegas or Salt Lake City, Utah, around those dates, go online, get your tickets.
Yeah, go check out Ryan and Big Homies there. Check them out for sure. Going to be a great show. I mean, your music, like I said, when I first heard the music live, I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, man, this is the music I grew up with, to a certain extent. But it also resonated because I could feel the veteran in you was in your music. So I'm like, hell yeah.
And that was a rough night, and I feel like that was the highlight.
It was
made his night. Like,
that was a rough night, and I'm not even going to get into that story. But Patriots Inside the Wire, which is Tracy Two-Step, she's a Gold Star mother. She's real big in the Texas music scene when it comes to like Texas artists and stuff like that. And so she's also she brings in veteran singers and songwriters. So I'm gonna get you connected with Tracy as well, so she can have you on her show. And then know me, I got a whole plethora of veteran podcasters that I hang out with and talk with, and I'm going to get you on their show as quickly as I can. That way we can get get it out there.
Yeah, and I mean, I appreciate that like wholeheartedly. I love that, man, and really that's kind of what it's all about for me. Networking, meeting. I'm a social butterfly. I love meeting new people. I love connecting, and I feel like I have that personality trait, and I always have had that personality trait where it's really easy for me to make friends and to have those good vibes to want to be around. I try really hard to kind of cultivate that as I get older, so I don't turn into some bitter old man as I go throughout my years. I'm only 35, but that it starts to happen where you get less and less social. But I've not had that problem. But I mean, anytime that you want to have me on, anytime that anybody else, if they're interested, if they want to reach out, you could find me on any social media platform as well. Send me a message, and we can discuss that. I'm not PC. I'm cool with it either. I don't have a filter. That's something that I have to be practicing is I have to practice my podcast etiquette and my live etiquette because
it depends on the podcast.
Yeah, it depends on the podcast.
But at the same time, you get those podcasts that like, oh yeah, you don't have to, have a filter on my podcast. I don't care. And then you fuck around and say something stupid. And somebody is going to screen record that on their Facebook and be like, oh, Theory said this. And it's like all taken out of context. People do that shit all the time. And so I want to make sure, the way that I'm trying to build my brand and staying true to myself, that I can do that, without shooting myself in the foot in my career.
Yeah.
That hasn't really even officially started yet, going down the shitter before I can even get it going. So, I'm needing to do that.
That's like the comments about Eminem. I was like, oh man, we got to be very touchy because if somebody records that shit and then Eminem finds out, it's like, oh fuck.
No, I knew when I asked Ryan that he was going to be one of the ones that loved it because it is old school Eminem. It was like it brought it back. It was that nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like I just want to know. I wanted to know how you felt about the song because it was like,
I mean,
everybody tries to take them down and it ain't happening.
Yeah, I mean, really, I'm like that with any music. To be completely honest with you, I'm very versatile with what I listen to. I'm a metalhead also. I love heavy metal. I love old classic rock. I love new heavy metal, alternative rock, and I love EDM music. A lot of it is just kind of soothing to listen to, or sometimes, I love party vibes. I love pop music. I'll even do pop music sometimes, have a pop vibe with some of my songs that I'll do. So, I mean, I'm very versatile, but like when it comes to other artists, I don't really tend to criticize their art as much because music is subjective,
Mm.
right?
Right.
So it's what you take away. The problem that social media has nowadays is like, if you say something, everybody else is going to shoot you down if they disagree.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because what they try to do is they try to then push that narrative that they have onto you and make you look like an asshole for not having that same view. And it was like
Yep.
the whole
Right.
Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. Like, I've always, and I've been a Drake fan. I love Drake's music. He is very good at what he does. He makes good music. I never denied that. I've always 110% though thought that Kendrick Lamar was a better rapper when it came to the craft.
Mm.
I didn't ever once say that Drake can't rap. I didn't ever once say that Kendrick Lamar is better at making hits or better at dropping music, because we all know it's not true. But well, I mean, I don't mean it in a derogatory way, but he drops albums once every 3-4 years, whatever.
Right. Right.
Drake will, drop multiple albums and multiple singles, do multiple features throughout that entire period that you'll
Yeah.
hear one album from Kendrick. So it's like, that was the big argument. But what I like to do is I like to take myself out of that and step back and be like, okay, when people are saying things like that, they're looking at that instant gratification.
Right.
Right. So it's like, I want to hear, and the people, the society's attention span, especially with music, is very short. So it's like when you release a song as an artist, you have a very select few weeks, days, whatever it may be, but it's a short period of time in retrospect for that song to not be old news for somebody and be like, all right, on to the next one. I'm trying to hear the next song that this dude's going to release. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel when I take myself out of that and I think about it subjectively, that doesn't take away from the craft of that person that does it once every 3-4 years, who releases a project or releases only a couple singles throughout the year. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're not working. That doesn't necessarily mean that they've fallen off. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're getting worse or they're not as good as this other person.
Right.
It takes away from the ideology that, you suck if you're not constantly releasing music. And that's not the case at all. Kendrick Lamar has classic albums. His lyrics are studied at Harvard, and it's like, he's just a better lyricist, in my opinion. But again, it's subjective. So somebody might think that I'm garbage. Somebody might think that, oh, well, this he just sounds like everybody else, or maybe he doesn't sound like everybody else, and that's why they don't like me. It's subjective, but I'm not going to disrespect you because you may have a different outlook than me. That's childish.
Right. What's MF Doom? What is
MF Doom? Oh yeah. MF Doom is an artist.
All right.
Well, and a producer. But yeah, no,
Nice.
MF Doom is solid, man. I love I think I told you this before, David, the last time we were on. I'm a huge Logic fan.
Yeah, I like Logic too.
Yeah, I love his music. He's one of my top reasons for why I started doing music.
Nice.
Because his message of peace, love, and positivity resonated with me. And, reflecting that in his music gave me a feeling like I could have an outlet also to do the same thing, and promote the same kind of message, but at the same time, still go hard on the music. And, in real life, it's peace, love, positivity, but on a microphone, it's slitting throats. You know what I mean?
Hell
Like, that's
yeah.
kind of
I love it.
the whole thing, that split personality kind of thing. So it's like Logic works a lot with people like MF Doom and, rest in peace, but Jay Dilla, all those old school guys. I love that because that's what I grew up on. So like I said at the beginning of this podcast, I was like, that pure hip hop root is where I try to keep it. But I try to put my own what's up?
It's very fitting for Marines. I mean,
well,
if you
yeah,
think about it, the full circle of things. Like you guys look at your background and the things that you appreciate and the things that you want to portray.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But you try to put your own spin on it too. So you're more individualized, and you're not just another, you know, another this artist or another that artist, or,
Right.
whatever it may be. I want to, I can't even tell you, if I had a dollar for every time somebody said you sound like Eminem, I wouldn't be living in Louisville, Kentucky right now. I'd be living, in California,
right next door to Eminem.
Right next door to Marshall, right? So it's like, the whole thing with that is yes, it's a compliment, sure. If you're going to compare my style and my voice and my lyrics and the lyricism, if you're going to compare that to arguably the greatest MC to ever touch a microphone, then I'm not going to deny that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, dude, like I get it. I appreciate it, but I am also my own person. And I'm also my own artist, and I try to put my own spin on my own music.
Right.
And I found it easier to be able to do that once I started producing my own instrumentals. So, being able to put my own flavor in the beats helps bring out that flavor, that individual flavor in the lyricism as well with that. And I saw her say Tyler, the Creator. Tyler, the Creator is dope. That dude's goofy. I've seen so many interviews of Tyler, the Creator, and he makes me laugh like none other. But he is a very, very talented artist.
Well, I got an ideal for you and Joey to do. So you've seen those TikTok commercials or TikTok videos where somebody gets picked up by an Uber driver and they're playing their music. So you and Joey need to do that. You need to have Joey driving, him playing your music. You jump in as the Uber rider, and then vice versa. I think I've got a shit ton of views that way.
Look, those are reels. Those are some of that content that you need.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I do have ideas for what I want to create, but part of me lacks the motivation to set up the camera and do all the edits, because I have the edit software. I have Final Cut Pro, so I can sit there and my iPhone 15 Pro records video in 4K at 60 frames a second. That's perfect quality if I want to put out reels. So it's like I could do it, and I have done it, but it's just a lot that goes into it, and I have school to worry about, and that takes up a lot of my time. I have my own music, and I have I've been tasked with doing a buddy of mine's album. I'm engineering his entire project, and there's 42 songs.
Holy shit.
That I have.
Any of us that know Joey though knows that man loves the camera. Just have him come over and follow you around. That'll create reels. Like
no, Joey's good at creating the content. And he has a lot of very creative ideas. Also, he is definitely somebody who has boosted my creativity. Like just the thoughts and the ideas. He's thrown so many at me that have worked out. Some haven't been brought to light yet. Some we're still working on. But he's so creative with that, and I absolutely adore that about him. And that's why we work so well musically. Because for the longest time, people hit us up and they were always like, "Oh, well, when's a Berserk in Theory album gonna come out?" And I'm just like, I don't know.
Whenever.
Whenever we do it. But then, and that was when Joey and I really weren't that close. Like, we were friends. We hung out every once in a great while. But then he started hanging out with us a lot more, and he started coming over basically 4-5 times a week, and crashing on our couch, and now he lives with me.
Okay.
He's our roommate.
A good wife.
Yeah, once we moved into this new place March 1st, it's a 4-bedroom. We moved in here, and it's so much nicer than our old house than we were living in. Not to say that the old house wasn't nice. It wasn't a nice little place, but this place is so much bigger. It's so much more updated. And it has a big backyard. It's privacy fence, all around the whole thing. And we got a big deck outside that we've been pimping out and making it a cool hangout spot. But yeah, Joey's my roommate. So,
we got a built-in babysitter.
Yeah, exactly. but no, we we are constantly in each other's ear now, musically, and showing each other new stuff that we've recorded, or like I did a feature for somebody a few days ago, and I was like, the way that guy came up, because it was like some random guy that just reached out to me. He was like, yo, you're dope. I produce beats. I also rap. Here's some of my music. Would you want to do a feature for me? And I was like, well, you know, under contract with Big Homies, I'd technically have to charge for a verse or a hook or whatever you want, you know, respectfully, right? Of course. And he was like, well, how about for our first transaction, I just give you a beat. Here's some of my beats. I told him what I liked. He sent me some, and I was like, this dude's beats are actually really dope. So I was like, yeah, for the first transaction, sure. If you want to give me a beat and it's exclusively to me and it's a one of one and nobody else has this beat, then yeah, absolutely, I'll do it. So I did it. And I showed Joey the verse when I was done writing it. And he was like, that's actually a very dope verse that you did. And he's
Nice.
like, yeah, he was like, you got really technical with it. And he's like, I like that. Because the beat kind of called for that sort of rapidy rap kind of lyrical spiritual miracle kind of thing. So I my rhyme schemes were on point, and I always hear his like in the back of my head all the time. Like I'll hear him say like, nah, that ain't it, like in my head, like in his deep ass voice, and be like, nah, I'm gonna show this to Joey, and he's gonna be like, bro, that was lame, like you need to think of a different bar. And like he says, and he does the same thing with me. So but yeah, we have the FTB on the FTB, the From the Bottom artist page on any streaming platform. We have the Basket Case album.
Oh, okay.
And that is a Berserk in Theory collaboration album.
Nice.
So you can look that up. I'll send you the link for that.
Yeah, definitely, because I'll definitely have to go subscribe to that as well.
Yeah,
and it's something about your voice and Joey's voice when you guys are on a song together. It's just it just mellows so well, and
it's a very good combination. And I think it's because of my more high pitched kind of fast rap and the way that I rap and just the sound of my voice, and then it goes to his deep voice where it's like, you know, super dark minded sometimes, and like it's a yin and yang thing. We say that about each other a lot. It's a yin and yang thing musically. And I mean, my stepdad is not a huge hip hop fan by any means, but he loves Freak Show. It's like his favorite. It's like his favorite fucking song. And his dad, who's about to be 80, loves mine and Joey's music. He's like every time that we come out with a song together, he's like, bro, like he'll call me and be like, that was a real great song. I like it a lot. And like he eats it up. He's all about it. He plays it. And like all I can think of is like some 80-year-old guy just in his car, you know, driving his old Buick, just bumping Freak Show. Like,
or nodding.
It's like the coolest thing. So it's like, you know, it's always nice to hear when people tell me that they enjoy my music for whatever reason, because you get so much backlash and so much hatred for your craft. No matter what it is that you do, you get so much negativity, and the little positive words and phrases and messages that I'll get, you know, randomly, it seriously like makes my heart melt, because like I love hearing those things from people. So
look, there's always going to be haters, and you know, success is the best revenge.
Yeah, of course. And that's my whole thing. Like, you do what you are going to do, right? You don't let anybody tell you how to do your art. You don't let anybody tell you what's good and what's not. Oh, my daughter's calling me.
You better answer it.
Yeah, I know. Hello.
I'm gonna mute you. Yeah, I went ahead and muted him just to be on the safe side.
Yes, Rat Man, I can't wait.
Yeah, Rat Man the Wall's gonna be awesome, bro.
Look, your wife's getting ready to kill you.
All right, we're good.
No, you're good. So Tracy with Patriots Inside the Wire, she said, "Great show, y'all. Music raised me out of bad situations. Y'all need to set up at Patriot Fest, which is a music fest that she started. And then she wants me to text her later. She goes, Theory, nice chat, and enjoyed HomeFront Sitrep podcast, shared on all her channels. And then she said, good music is good music at any age. So
Thank you.
Yeah, you are definitely correct. Good music at any age. Like there's some artists that I like some of their songs, and then there's some artists that I like all of their songs. And I haven't heard one from you that I disliked. Even my kids, like I got you on Spotify playing in my truck, and my kids were like, "Oh, I like that, I like that." And then
that's awesome.
when Joey jumps in, they're like, "Oh my God,"
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I know both of these guys personally, and
I'm still a big fan.
Yeah, I am a big fan. I mean,
thank you
for one, you're a Marine Corps veteran. You're my brother to the day I die.
Of course.
I mean, that's what's going to happen. And then just from a musical standpoint, I could see you playing KFC Yum Center and selling the place out.
That's the goal, man.
And I'll be in the front row.
Hell yeah! Oh, dude, for sure. Yeah, I'd get
or
you VIP
backstage.
tickets. I would get you VIP tickets all day.
There you go. So
and like they always say, like, don't forget your day ones. Those people who supported you when you didn't have anything. And I take that to heart, very much so. Oh my goodness! 1 second, guys. Hello. Sadie.
Shelby's coming with us, and Shelby's watching us go to Lila's, and Lila's gonna come to Avery's, and then Lila's gonna come with us.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I love you.
I love you so much. All right, thank you.
Don't you love those?
She hung up.
Don't you love those calls?
Yeah. Well, she just called me and said, "I'm gonna go to Avery's," who's a little girl down at the very end of the street, and we live in a nice neighborhood. So she walks to the end of the street, and I'll usually stand out on the front porch and watch her. My friend Seth, who scared the ever living shit out of me earlier, is gonna watch her walk down the street real quick. But
nice.
So then
my
she
wife
called me and told me that she's like, "Oh yeah, the neighbors are gonna walk with me. Shelby's gonna walk," and I was just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. So my wife says you don't like concerts, and she's right. I'm not a big fan of crowded places.
Yeah.
So we'll have to figure out how to make that work. But
yeah, no, that's fine. And and kind of going back to what I was saying about like your day ones, like that's kind of where that idea came from, right? So like you don't forget about the people who supported you when you didn't have anybody in your corner, right? When you were a no name. Yeah. And when you didn't have any notoriety, money, this and that, and I take that to heart because, going from being an independent artist who felt like they didn't belong, and hip hop is a African American culture, and it's white rappers get a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
For that, you're a guest in the house of hip hop, and you can never, there's a guy that I don't agree with at all by any means. I'm not going to say his name, but he's a very, very influential person. But he stated that you can't be a white rapper and ever be considered the greatest of all time. You cannot, as a white rapper, you cannot be the greatest of all time in rap music if you're white. And I was like, I don't necessarily agree with that by any means. Hello, Seth. I see you this time.
Yeah, I disagree with that because, I mean, there are other genres of music that have, mixed people singing. Like, okay, let's say like Charlie Pride in country, back in the day. You know who Charlie Pride is?
No. What the fuck are you doing? You have get the fuck out of here with that. What are you doing?
what? Charlie Pride is the one that sings "Kiss an Angel Good Morning," which is
Okay.
an but you probably still don't know who that is. But
No. I'm sorry. Not gonna lie and pretend I do.
no, you're good. But
don't forget you're the oldest one here right now.
I am the oldest one here on the chat right now. But no matter your skin tone, your skin color, if you love country music, you love country music, and if you want to sing that, you sing that, and you could be whatever color and be the best of that genre. Just like I agree with you. I think Eminem is probably one of the best rappers in the modern last 20 plus years that I've heard.
Yeah, and I mean, when it comes down to it, again, it's a subjective thought. Not taking away from the fact that hip hop is Black culture, 110%. Never would ever say otherwise. I know that, and I understand that I am entering and have entered and am trying to flourish in an industry that is primarily, rooted in those hip hop roots, right? That African American culture. So it comes with that backlash. And when I think about how when I first started and I was so nervous to get on a microphone and have anybody hear me, and then being told by my friends and family, like, no, you actually have something, you should pursue this. This is actually really, really good. And then going to something else, trying the rock music and trying this and trying that. Like, I want to be somebody who always stays true to myself and somebody who always stays true to my beliefs and my morals and never compromise that. And if that means that I am not going to be, one of the greatest of all time, like, I don't need that title. I don't need that kind of light shined on me or my family. God forbid, my daughter, either of my daughters, get in fights at school because their dad is, involved in this industry, and somebody said, oh, well, he's the greatest and I don't agree. And, it starts a huge thing. Like, there's so many ways that it can affect you in your personal life. So it's very important for me to stay true to my morals and my roots and talk about that. But to go from where I had no confidence, and hip hop giving me that confidence over the years that I do it, as my craft had improved, as my lyricism had improved, my writing skills had improved, my delivery had improved, and it's all because of rap music. And if you listen to my Carpe Noctem album, my first album, and then you listen to Carpe Diem, it's a night and day, literally a night and day difference.
It is.
So it's like, that doesn't come easy. And a lot of people don't realize that. And the flack that you get throughout that time, me being 30 and trying to start brand new in an industry that's not very welcoming to people with my skin tone, there's a lot of shit that you get. And you have to tune all that out.
And that's a compliment to you, because your musical journey has, you've grown from where you first started to where you are now. And that's even with all the haters out there. Because I know I'm not in the music industry, but you could see it, because like, even with Eminem, when he first started, everybody's like, trying to diss Eminem and stuff like that. And it's just like, bro, what are you doing? You're going to wind up losing, because it happened time after time. And and for you to start where you started, FTB, from the bottom, and to where you are now, where you had a record label reach out to you and say, hey, I love what you're doing, I want you on our label. That's a testament to you and your mental fortitude and your resiliency to keep going and keep trucking at what you love doing. And it's your therapy. Your journey is your therapy in helping you deal with your PTS and your anxiety and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's been an honor for the last year to watch you grow. Of course, I've just recently was introduced to you, so and just in that year time frame that I've known you, to see how you've grown in that time frame.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, you're very welcome, my friend, and I'm going to help support you any way I can, whether that's getting you involved with these other podcasts so that you can get out there and tell your story, tell about your musical journey, because I think what we need to do is help you, and that's what we do on HomeFront Sitrep, is we help veterans get their story out there. And I think your story would resonate, because there's a buttload of veteran singers and songwriters out there across the country. You're probably the only rap artist that's veteran that I know of. Actually, I take that back. There is another one. He's Marine Corps rapper or something. I forget. I'd have to look him up, but I love it. I love it. And I thank you for coming on here and hanging out with us. I thought we were only going to get you. Well, you're welcome. I thought we were only going to get you for like the first 30 minutes, and then you stayed for the whole show.
I know you guys got tired of me. It's okay. Just tell me.
No,
we Willis cut you off. I didn't.
We could go on when he was rapping.
Yeah.
No, he was done.
No, he wasn't.
Well,
he said he could have kept going.
I know, but he was done.
I could have, but I also I didn't want to just make it about that. Like, give you guys a quick little 8 bars.
I could tell that he was going to a stopping point. That's why I went ahead and stopped the music, because I thought it was done.
Look, I'm giving
but no, it was awesome. I reached out to you earlier. Was it earlier today? I said, hey, do you want to jump on to promote your song and stuff? And you text back real quickly, and it's a testament of you, because you want to. You love coming on the show and talking, and then you love and I want to promote your music and stuff like that, and I listen to it all the time. Hell, I go through the city of Mount Washington and blaring it. I got my windows rolled down in my truck and blaring it. I get people looking at me like, "What the fuck are you listening to?" I love it, man. And I know you got things that you got to get doing. We got to wrap up the show because my wife just got home, and mama's going to kick my butt if I don't wrap up soon. So
I just, before anything, ends, I just want to say, I do always appreciate what you do as well. Both for myself with the promotion, but also, it's what you do with your support for veterans through the podcast as well. Podcasting is a huge thing right now. And you're giving these people, these veterans, a platform to share their stories. And, like you said, it might resonate with somebody that's watching one day, and then they realize, I'm not alone in this, everybody's got a different story, but, so thank you, both of you,
thank you
for what you guys do as well. So, anytime you need me or want me on the show, just to come in, even if you want me to just get up and be like, hey man, give me a quick 16-bar verse, I'll just
see?
whatever. I'm always down. I love talking with people. I love what you guys are doing, which makes me want to support it that much more. And I appreciate the give and take with the support for me as well. So
awesome. Well, I do have some veteran singer songwriters coming up. I have Scotty Frazier, who's a Marine Corps veteran. He's out in Texas. Then I got Scotty Hastings as well, who I think Scotty was an Army veteran, maybe Air Force. And then I'm reached out to Shannon Book, who's another country artist as well. So I might just bring you on and listen to their, and talk with them as well. So
we could have a round table.
Anytime. I'm always, is like I told you before, as long as I'm available and I'm not in the middle of anything, or I didn't have anything going on, previous engagements or anything, just let me know. If I can hop on, I'll hop on. It's always a pleasure. So,
and then I'm going to get you. You're welcome. I'm going to get you connected with Jason Steiner too from Hero Stock.
Okay.
which he puts on concerts. So they've been invited to go to, I think last time we spoke, 30 different states that they got invited to go to.
Oh, wow.
I'm bringing them into Kentucky
That's what
this
we were
year.
talking to you about
So
pre-show.
yeah, so this year we're going to
Dope.
have a one day show. Next year it's going to be a 3-day show. So we're going to do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Sweet.
And eventually what I want for Hero Stock in Kentucky is to be bigger than Louder Than Life. So that's what I want.
Geez. That'd
But
be
this
nuts.
is and it's all about veteran singers, songwriters, and their family. So like if Joey was somebody, if somebody in his family was in the military, he could play Hero Stock.
Sweet.
So
Okay.
we
I'll
can
have to
make
talk to
that
him about that.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely make it happen. I'm gonna get you connected with Jason Steiner, and
Yeah.
dude, I'm excited about our friendship. I'm excited to see where you go from the bottom to where you are now, and then where you're where you're going.
Because
So
it's gonna happen.
Thank you.
We're gonna watch it.
Yeah, I know. I've always had a gut feeling, and like it's crazy because my mom tells me this too. She told me this for years and years, even before I joined the Marines. You know, she would tell me, I think that you're meant for very big things, whether that be self-service for joining the military, whether that be you know, doing anything, acting, singing, rapping. Clearly now, you know, who would have known? But
right.
That's like the last thing that you ever would have thought that I would do if you knew me before I joined the Marine Corps. If I could go back and ask my 18-year-old self, do you know that your future is going to include you rapping? I would have probably just laughed at myself and been like, fucking right, it will. No. So, you know, these things come in the least expected ways. But I've never in my life felt passionate or so unrealistically positive about this working out. Like music is something that I am 110% sure of. And I'm going to try my damnedest to make this happen, because I know, like you said, Candace, you know, it's gonna happen, and I manifest that all the time. So
there you go.
I'm just excited for that. So yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see the journey too, man. I'm excited for everybody to see the journey and see where it goes. I'm excited to see where it goes myself. So
that's all we can do, and I'm going to speak it to fruition. Like you said, it's going to be manifested, because I keep promoting you anytime I can. And that's why I reached out to you and say, hey, I want some of your music so I can put it into some reels and stuff that I'm creating. That way
please
we
do
get that music out there. And then I'm going to talk to you offline about something I asked Candace about it earlier, but I might even just go ahead and say it now.
No, don't do it.
Okay,
Don't do it.
so we'll wait.
Don't do it.
We'll wait.
Yeah.
That
I
would be
think
putting you on the spot. I really hope you say yes. But
I really think you'll say yes to it.
Okay.
I hope you will. Anyway,
I'm still confused. But
no, you'll be like, dude, that's dope. I'll do it. I'm hoping.
Okay.
I'm
sure I would. You know, I'm always down to
because it's
collaborate and stuff. So.
I'm super excited about it. And then, like I said, I'm going to get you connected with all these different other podcasters and get you connected with Jason with Hero Stock. They just had the one in Rolla, Missouri, which was an amazing show. So, but anyway, brother, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on here, man. You be safe, and we will talk soon, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Just hit me up anytime, man. Like I said, you know, always down. So you guys have a great night, and thank you again.
God bless you, brother, man. Later.
Yep.
Dude, I always love when he comes on.
I know. You were like a little kid when we first saw
dude, I was. I loved it. I mean, that was a really rough night.
Yep.
I'm not even going to get into details on how rough that night was.
It was bad, and there were some great things that came out of it, though.
Oh yeah, the friendships that came out of it, and you know, it's just really good things. I was going to play his other song here that I wanted to play because I just love the groove to it, man. It's I just
you drive around blaring.
It's one of them. Yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah, theory statement.
I do. I don't know if I should kick you with video or.
homies in the backseat, riding down a 6-4, bumping to the backbeat. Got a couple bottles, marijuana and a glass piece. Wherever we go, we bout to run it like a track meet. But it's 9 o'clock, time to head to where the party at. Cause shit, I'm trying to get drunk, roll a blunt, light it up, smelling loud when I pull up on the scene. All the bad bitches crowd, run a boy, I'm a fiend for the yeah, and they know it. A couple of them freaks, and I'm trying to let them show it. Got one grinding on my waist, I ain't hitting till you blow it. But I promise when I get inside, ain't gon' be no slowing down. Split it, then I hit the town, bar hopping, y'all know what I'm trying to do. Check my phone, I don't even know who I'm replying to. Roll another blunt, homie, tell me where we flying to. Trying to keep it going for another night or two, yeah.
You know, we the life of the party, and you know, we about to get it started. You know, the ladies sipping on Bacardi, cause you know, we the life of the party.
You know it's just the same shit, different day. You jump in on my shoes, about to fly away. I'ma drink away the blues with this Alizé. Sipping to the rain, no clue what I'm trying to say. Outside with the team like your boy Hank, and you know we got it lit like propane. From the east side all the way to Spokane. Everybody moving, yeah, we bringing back the Soul Train. Said they wanna catch a vibe, say less. Got the game still tight, yeah, we stay fresh. What they about to do next, bet they can't guess. At the bar, and about to blow the whole paycheck. Tell a petty hater stay in their lane. Can't admit they dig the boy, throwing dirt on my name. When I hit a fill a void with impeccable aim, they wanna do it like me, but it just ain't the same. And I ain't gotta explain, cause
you know,
shout out
we the life of the party, and you know, we about to get it started. You know, the ladies sipping on Bacardi, cause you know, we the life of the party. You know, we the life of the party, and you know, we about to get it started. You know, the ladies sipping on Bacardi, cause you know, we the life of the party.
Dude, it just that brings me back to like some I want to say kind of like In Too Deep, maybe back in the day.
Is there something about deep right now with you? Like something about deep.
But no, man, I tell you what, I'm
telling you, that was like Warren G for me. Like, like Snoop Dogg, Warren G.
Yeah,
just that groove.
Some Back to the Hotel from In Too Deep. Yeah. So no, man, if you haven't checked out Theory, TH30RY, go follow him on Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your music. Go follow him. Then also check out Berserk as well. They're awesome. I love both of their music. We're going to be putting some some gin and juice vibe. Yeah. I got you, Michael. Yeah, definitely. But no, man, great show. I want to thank Bryan Roof from Every Day's a Saturday-USMC Veteran from coming on, talking about what he does, why he got into podcasting, his military journey and everything. And I want to thank my buddy Ryan for coming on here, aka Theory, for coming on here and talking about his new song that was just released on Friday. So go check it out on wherever you can find it at. So
that was a great show.
It was. Tomorrow.
Great people.
So tomorrow we were supposed to have Soldiers of Sidelines with Harrison Bernstein. Unfortunately, some family issues came up, so he is not able to come on. We have rescheduled, but tomorrow we're going to have Montana Warriors on the Water join us. So stay tuned for that one. Can't wait to have that one and find out more about them. So definitely reach out to us. And then like Candace and I always say, stay safe out there, and we got your six. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your six.